Podcast?
Podcast.
That's
Podcast.
crazy.
Yeah.
Never heard of her.
Um, so how do we segue into the topic that we were just talking about?
Well, you were saying something about
Just do it. Just fucking throw us
how
into
you
it. So we were
gained
talking
weight
about
during the pandemic.
Kyle was eating a pint of ice cream, and he was
I ate a
like, "I'm
whole
lactose
half a pint
intolerant."
of ice cream. It took me about
Yeah,
5 minutes to get through what? What's half of a pint? What is that? Is that a measurement?
I don't care enough.
Okay. Anyway,
So I was eating half a pint of ice cream, and he said that he was lactose intolerant, and I said I was lactose intolerant as well. And he was like, "But are you allergic to gluten?" And I said, "I kind of wish I was." And he was like, "You don't." And then that segued into the conversation we were just having, which was about, you know, carbs and stuff being unhealthy.
I missed it. What were you? I missed
Oh
that
yeah,
part.
I,
What
I
were you
was
guys
I
talking?
was I was just talking about how I kind of wish bread would kill me, so I'd have an excuse not to eat it.
Oh,
But yeah, you were gone for that.
yeah. Honestly, it's one of those things where bread is such a fundamental part of the human diet and always has been, like ever since the agricultural revolution, and
Hmm.
even before that in the what do you call it, Mesopotamia. That's a place, but it's also kind of a time period.
Let's cut the nerd shit and just talk about bread.
Yeah. Bread isn't really that bad for you. Was there a
Ever since human beings
I'm
knew how to farm,
uh,
like six
Yeah,
thousand years ago,
of course,
there's been bread.
bread, wheats, grains, things like that, they're inherently a part of every human being's diet. Like, even though
Yeah,
I've started to cut carbs and stuff recently, I still eat like a decent amount of bread, just not nearly as much as I
yeah.
used to. Um, yeah, I forgot where we were going with this.
So
Anyways,
where do you
where,
get most of your carbohydrates from? Are you a pasta guy? Or are you
um,
like, what do you?
I'm kind of a pasta guy, yeah. Um, Sometimes I'd eat like potato chips and whatnot. I don't know. I just
hmm,
kind of eat stuff with a lot of carbs in it.
and you've been trying to cut that out lately?
Yeah,
I see. So
I've cut out fried foods like almost in their entirety.
Are
mhm.
I've
fried
cut
foods
out.
carbs?
I mean, no,
I
no,
thought
no.
that was
But I'm
just
just I'm
oil.
just talking in general.
Yeah.
Those are
Oh, okay.
oils. But like
Yeah.
fries are definitely a significant source of carbohydrates, and I've
I think
been completely avoiding that.
I think
Yeah.
if you play your cards right, you can get away with eating certain kinds of French fries. Like what I do uh is if you take, I know this sounds like total fucking garbage and malarkey, but if um you take some, oh, what do you call it? Potatoes, you just wash them, skin them, peel them, cut them into slices, and then put them on a cookie sheet, and take some avocado oil, not like vegetable oil because that's not really super great for you, but like avocado oil because it's a little bit better for you. It's healthier fats, it's not.
Uh-huh.
And some seasoning, depending on what you want to do for your seasoning, whether it's just salt or you add a little bit of cayenne or whatever you want to, do.
Hmm.
Um, and then bake it.
I
Um,
was I was terrified you were going to mention an air fryer.
no, I've never used an air fryer. I heard they're pretty hot shit though.
Yeah. People are talking about them lately for some reason.
Clearly, you don't own an air fryer.
Clearly, you don't have an air fryer.
Yeah. My dad owns an air fryer, and every single thing he's made in it has been terrible. So I don't really trust air fryers.
What do
If you're gonna
you?
fry
Okay.
something, just go all the way.
What do
Yeah.
you? What has he made? What do you?
He's
What
made
do you
like
make in a?
fries. He's made chicken. I
I
don't know
feel like
how the fuck an air
I
fryer
was
works,
under
and I
the
don't think he does either.
impression
I'm I'm
I was under
curious
the
as
impression air
like how
fryers
it
were more of a
works.
more of a conventional, like a convention oven, um like a microwave, but instead of just heating things up, it cooks them a little bit more than it heats it up.
Yeah, I think that's what they are. I don't know. All
I
I
would
know is that there's an air fryer in my house.
I thought they would
Uh,
work more like, they would it would be more like a dryer, like a food dryer thing.
Yeah,
like a
I don't know. I think the
dehydrator.
concept is stupid.
A dehydrator, yeah.
Did you guys? That reminds me. Speaking of, did you guys ever have vacuum bags in your house, like a vacuum sealer?
No.
No.
I remember my grandma gave one to my mom when I was like, oh, I must have been like 10 years old. And for the next month, my bio dad and my mom just vacuum sealed everything and then froze it. Like they went ham on the vacuum sealer. They're so loud, dude. They're loud. Well, maybe mine was just old, but they're loud.
Why did they go through all the effort?
You know what it might have been is it might have been they might have gotten a bunch of food that was like on sale at like Costco or whatever, and instead of wanting to pay full price, you pay for food that's on sale, and then you pay for vacuum sealing.
I get it.
Excuse
Just
me.
to like keep
Yeah.
them fresh
Yeah,
until
yeah.
you want to eat them.
Well, not fresh, but
I mean, like as fresh as
frozen.
they could probably
Yeah.
be.
No, it was pretty fresh. I don't think you could have. I don't think you would have been able to tell.
Well, there's something.
Yeah. We do have a dehydrator in our house, though. Uh, we mostly
That
use
sounds
it.
about right.
Yeah. Your dad's an old hippie, so
Yeah, yeah. We use it to dry fruit and stuff. It's pretty nice, actually.
lots of mangoes.
We
Dude, I
actually,
still think about that. I
yeah,
still think about the fact that when you gave us like a little video house tour, your refrigerator was full of nothing but fucking mangoes. I still
yeah.
think about
It
that.
was, yeah. It was mango season. That's basically whatever season it is for fruit. The fridge and the shelves are going to be full of that fruit because it's cheap and
So
it's
I know that you
actually
guys,
good.
for like, it's birthdays and holidays, you guys do durian, right?
Yeah, because we all happen to love it, the
Mm-hmm.
fruit.
Is it expensive or you guys just like to keep it rare?
It is definitely more expensive than other fruits, especially when you get it whole rather than like the packaged frozen stuff.
I remember you telling me that packaged shit is like shit.
It's not bad, it's just bad for like people who aren't familiar with the fruit because the thing is that like the smell and the taste both get really strong when after they've been preserved or something like that. So when you get the packaged stuff, you're basically getting like the strongest possible taste and smell you could get from durian. And since like that's like what a lot of
It's
people
like
are exposed to,
concentrated.
yeah, it's really the worst way to start out eating durian because like people who like durian will like it, but people who aren't familiar with it will basically get the worst possible experience. So you
Probably
should,
just overexposure, too much at one time.
yeah, if you at the 99 Ranch or whatever, right?
Hmm.
Um,
I'm not
they have like a
familiar.
little freezer section, a freezer thing, like near the in the what's it called, in the near the fruits, right? And they have these whole
Mm.
durians that are sort of frozen, and that's what we get. And
Mm.
they're quite good. And the smell is
Okay.
even like before I got into durian, even I thought that the smell was like unusually mild. So, I think that's probably the best way to get into it. And that's the type that we get for special occasions.
Very nice.
I,
So you guys do durian for special occasions. There's mango season. What other seasonal fruits do you guys go through? Is it
uh,
like just the four main seasons, or do you guys like actually have like?
I don't.
Because I'd like to
That's.
imagine that you guys just have you only eat four different fruit an entire year.
Nah. But I mean, I'm not really a fruit guy to be honest. I'm the reason why we make chili and vegetable soup and stuff like that. It's
Yeah,
mostly my dad, but yeah, we generally eat fruit as it comes into season, and usually winter time, like December
I
through like
imagine lots of
February.
apples.
No, no, actually, we almost never eat
Really?
apples. It's oranges. Oranges are in season during the winter.
I don't. That's the one thing. Like I'll eat generally anything as long as it's not moving or alive. Like I'll even pick out of the garbage. It doesn't bother me. Um, I remember one time my mom threw away, or no, it was yeah, it was what was it? I don't know. There have been so many different instances where, like, a pizza will sit out on the counter overnight and just be left out and forgotten about. And I'll get up in the morning and I'll have, 3 or 4 slices. Or I remember one time when I was younger, some Wendy's got left on the counter overnight. I ate that. Um,
What does this have to do with oranges again?
I'll eat anything but oranges, raw oranges. Um,
Yeah,
they're too stringy.
yeah. We don't eat them. In fact, we juice them because you see,
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah, we because well, for one thing, my dad doesn't really like citrus fruits because they're really acidic, and my dad doesn't really like acidic stuff, so he doesn't eat them. It's me, and to a lesser extent, my little brother. I like acidic stuff, and so we have this sort of hand juicer thing. I don't know if we could find a picture
I
of
could
that.
probably imagine what you're talking about just because we used to do my bio dad and that
It
side of
has
the
like
family.
it
We had a lot
has
of orange
it has
trees.
like this lever thing. Aha! I found a picture. I'm going to copy this into the funny MS Paint thing. Oh my God, that's
Okay.
large. Uh, okay, so that's what it looks like. I'm going to send it in Discord real quick so you guys get an idea. And yeah, it has its own little sort of a pulp filter thing, so you don't have to eat any of the gross stuff, and that's what it looks
Oh,
like.
that's pretty cool. Hey,
And
Andrew, we're recording a podcast right now. Just yeah, you're welcome to stay, but you need to contribute to the conversation.
yeah, and what? Oh, his volume is not calibrated.
No.
No, he's just that quiet.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, he's just really quiet.
that's cool. Uh, what was I saying again? Oh yes, so we have one of those, and
Oranges.
I
So you
make
guys do mangoes, lots of oranges, durian on special occasions. What else?
and let's see, I forgot when persimmons are in season, but my dad really likes persimmons, so he gets quite a bit of those whenever they're in season. Um,
They're pretty good. I
yeah,
like persimmons. Let's see. Do you have a favorite? That's a fall fruit, by the way.
that does sound correct. And
Do you have a favorite fruit?
probably durian, definitely durian actually.
Okay.
That's like no question. It's
Yeah.
also my little brother's favorite fruit. I don't know if it's my dad's favorite fruit, but he likes it a lot, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
Yeah.
Honestly, like everyone that likes durian, it's their favorite fruit. There's no competition anymore.
Are
Huh.
which ones are durians again? Are they the weird spiked green fruits or?
No, they're not. There's the
I
spiked
think
yellow ones. They're the ones that everyone says smells really bad.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then I'm thinking about the right ones then.
Yeah, those ones.
I think my favorite. I think I'd
I
have to give it to nectarines.
Which ones are nectarine? Oh yeah, the peach like ones.
Hmm.
Yeah, those ones are good.
Andrew, Leon, you guys have a favorite fruit?
um
Um, you can go first. I need to think about this.
with me, my like I just basically stick my shit in the tiers because I don't really do favorites because I don't like to talk shit. But my two like S tier fruits are nectarines and plums.
Atta boy.
Plums.
Nectarines are good.
I really like nectarines and oranges. I'm a crazy person who likes to eat oranges.
They're just so fucking straight.
I mean, I prefer
I
them
like orange
juiced,
juice.
but
Yeah,
I
that's
like them
Yeah.
a lot either
Oh yeah,
way.
no. I love orange taste and I love orange everything. I just can't eat them raw.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
Even
the
when I do eat them, I don't like eat them. I just suck the juice out of them.
yeah. That's
Oh no, I'll just
basically how
share
you're
Vampire
them.
expected
method.
to do it.
Yeah.
Because they're mostly juice anyways. Once you juice them, there's like almost nothing left. There's not much there
Yeah.
besides the juice.
I think
Um,
you guys have any interesting fruit facts?
durian
Are we
is
digging that deep?
I have a fruit
Figs
fact. Well,
technically
that's
aren't
why.
vegan.
what?
Yeah, that's
Why?
fair.
Why?
What's not
Um,
vegan?
Well, it's only a certain type of fig.
Yeah, it's only if you're thinking about what it's the wasp thing, then yeah,
Yeah.
not most figs are not like that, in fact.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only one of them. It's like the equivalent of the Granny Smith apple. It's only one kind that's wasps.
Wait. What about the Granny Smith apple?
No, I'm just saying, like, in comparison to apples, like, that's like saying that's like saying all apples are Granny Smith apples when only, one kind of apple is a Granny
Oh,
Smith apple.
I
Um,
thought that was mainly just all figs. I didn't know there are different types of figs.
yeah, oh yeah, there are plenty. Um, One of my favorite fruit
Well, you know.
facts is a lot of times, the forbidden fruit from like the Bible, the Adam and Eve story,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
is portrayed as an apple.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Theologists actually suspect the forbidden fruit was a pomegranate.
Oh, really? Why did they think
Hmm.
that?
Hmm. I don't remember exactly why, but I just read that
Because
somewhere.
it goes against all laws of nature to take a bite into a pomegranate.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
pomegranates are a bitch to eat, but they're really good.
Yeah, they
Yep.
really are.
I should eat more fruit. Speaking of which, I think the only fruit that I eat actively anymore is avocado.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
Oh yeah, avocados are
Avo-
technically. Oh yeah, they're a fruit.
What did you think it
I don't,
was?
I don't
Well,
think.
I just never really thought about it. Like I acknowledge that they're a fruit because they got the seed inside of them and shit. But I just
It's just
like,
part of the food pyramid.
It's like calling a
yeah,
tomato a fruit. Like,
Yeah,
it's a fruit, but I don't classify it as a fruit.
it doesn't work
yeah.
like a fruit, you
What do
know.
you mean? Tomatoes are
Well,
It's
what?
because they're
it's not that deep.
it's
They're
not
just
that
so
deep.
associated with, other
Savory.
types of
Yeah, they're
vegetables.
they're savory.
Yeah,
They're not sweet, so that's why most fruits are sweet.
Oh.
So that's
yeah.
it.
That's
That's all.
why I
Oh.
associate avocados with vegetables, kind of more or less. When I think about vegetables, for some reason, I'll start thinking about avocados sometimes.
Yeah.
Honestly, what my recommendation is if you want a good light breakfast, take an avocado, half it, take out the seed. If you want to, you can do the thing where you put the toothpicks in the avocado and then you put it above a cup of water and you start growing your own avocado tree. Um, but yeah, half an avocado, take out the seed, um, put garlic salt on it, go to town with a spoon
Ah,
because it comes in its own bowl.
that is true. That is true.
Yup. That doesn't sound too bad.
That's good.
I would
Yeah,
probably
just a
have it,
little
but
bit of garlic
I would
salt.
probably have the patience to put it on a bagel and put some salt and pepper on it.
Avocado toast is really good, but I don't always want to wake up and get constipated. So
Oh yeah, that's right. You can't.
I'm kidding though. It doesn't stop me. I had
Yeah,
2
that
sandwiches today. I don't really give
certainly
a
does
shit.
not.
Get it? Because I can't give a shit.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
thought you can. I
Not
thought it was
anymore.
the opposite.
Not after
Uh,
2 sandwiches.
Oh God.
Okay, so wait. So milk makes you shit and bread makes you not shit.
Correct. Which is why I eat both of them in
Oh
excess
no. Why
quantity.
does he
Oh,
sound like
he
that?
sounds like a robot now.
Uh-oh. Hello?
Hello.
This isn't
Gosh.
normal roboting. This is advanced roboting.
Yeah, this is.
Hold on.
It's funny how like he sounds like a robot, but there isn't actually much of a quality decrease. It sounds
Yeah.
like he uses a
It's not like
filter.
there's a delay or stuttering. He just sounds like a robot.
Yeah, yeah.
This is bullshit.
I'm
I'm
glad.
being bullied.
I'm glad that we're catching this in the recording so that he actually knows what he sounds like. This isn't even the first time that happened today either.
Yeah.
It'll solve itself later.
Yeah, that's how it happens.
What was I talking about? Oh yeah.
Avocado.
Okay. So being lactose intolerant and having gluten intolerance and celiac disease, I eat a plethoric amount of both dairy and gluten so that I am actually normalized because both allergies cancel each other out.
That's
That's
fucked.
interesting.
Interesting.
I am often left with a headache though. So
I
There's
I would
that.
imagine, yeah, your body's trying to decide what to do.
yeah. the the permanent yellow stoplight.
Yeah.
Oh. Kitty.
To some people, it's either the yellow stoplight or the beat the red light.
Yeah. To some people, it means yield. To some people, it means. To some people, it is a challenge. What else do we have on the menu? Okay, so we talked about food and
Uh-huh.
carbs and fruit. We talked about fruit a lot, but I wanted to bring it back to the actual sticky note, to the original sticky note idea,
Oh,
and
really?
that's what are like the pinnacles or like the pillars of Western society's like medial influence. Like when you think about Western society, you think about like cowboys and you think about like Roman legionaries.
When you say Western society, do you mean like,
Westernized society, or
yeah,
Do you
I
mean
don't
like
like
America
like Western
specifically, or like?
society as in like the current climate of the United States, or Western
I
society
guess
as like some far off era?
I think I think current United States is good enough.
Okay.
Like I
Well,
think about
let's
Western
keep it there.
society and I imagine um like early Roman inspiration, like you get a lot of Rome from the era of Caesar, um, you know, empirical Rome. You get French philosophy.
This sticky note
There's a lot of
mentions Star
cowboy
Wars. I
culture.
think we're stretching this a little bit.
Yeah,
No, no, no,
yeah.
no, no. That's a totally unrelated note for later. That will segue into films and culture later.
Okay.
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 Right now, I want to talk about like what do you see as like the pillars of like medial culture,
I don't think
like
medial is a
movies,
word, first of all. Medial. That's
Star
not.
Wars.
media.
It's not a fucking word. Okay, but I don't want to like crimp your C's or whatever. But all right, Star Wars. Yes, that's a good place to. That's a good place to start.
That
The original Star Wars, whether you want to agree or not, was a cultural turning point for the entirety of movies as a whole.
For sure.
okay.
That's it. It's kind of
So
it's kind of shaped a lot of popular culture in the way that we as a society revolve around the media we consume,
let
you
me let
know?
me phrase it like this. Then, on that note, let me phrase it like this. Um, Give me a couple key pieces of media that society today is based on.
I.
Like the society that we live in. Give me a couple key pieces of media
It's
that have
too abstract.
dramatically
Yeah,
Like
that's too.
like
That's.
like okay, I think some of the key pillars of social interaction and fundamentals of what we consider to be the classics are shit like Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Clint Eastwood movies. Like that's what I think of when I think what is our culture based off of. I think, you know,
Perhaps.
fucking
I
Empire Strikes
think
Back, Temple of Doom. I think
I think you're starting to veer
Good, the
into
Bad, the
what you
Ugly.
like rather than what is applies for
No,
everybody.
like this is what I see as like Schindler's List is another big one. Titanic. Um,
Okay.
I mean those are all like super popular movies. But how did those movies specifically shape society?
well, Star Wars and Indiana Jones influenced our nerd culture.
Of
Schindler's
course, yeah.
List and Titanic kind of gave us our a little bit of our chick culture, you know?
Huh?
Sh- Titanic I can understand, but Schindler's List I'm a little lost there.
I will never watch that movie. That movie is so long.
What? How could you have?
I'm just talking out of my ass at this point. I'm really hoping you guys pick up and like start to talk
Why don't? Why
All
don't?
about
right.
Why don't?
Let's change the topic to something more like easy to understand and less abstract.
okay.
Good.
Oh God. Oh
Oh.
God. How do I condense this? Help.
See? See?
Okay. What's your idea? Just spit it out.
I don't know. I think I think the easiest way to state what Kyle is trying to accomplish with this conversation
I'm
is
swinging wide. I really
how
am.
how did pieces of media sort of change our society?
Yeah.
Well, let's just think of it like that. That should make it easier.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Oh God, what's happening? I'll be back.
Okay.
Okay. Um, Pieces of media that have changed our society. Firstly, we need to think of some really fucking popular pieces of media. What's some of the like top grossing film?
I
Uh,
don't think that would be a good indicator, to be honest.
Top grossing? I feel like that'd
No.
be what would be then? What's a How do you gauge how famous a movie is without stepping into the spheres
If
of personal opinion?
if there is an argument about if it's even possible to have an argument about it, then it's not. That's it.
It's not good.
If I said something like
You can
Forrest Gump, if
always
I said
find
something like
flaws in
Forrest
art.
Gump or something, there's literally zero people who would argue against that. There's no way, there's zero argument against that. If I
I
said something
disagree. I
like,
think that movie is boring as shit.
yeah, well, that's your opinion, and you
Yeah,
can't argue
okay.
against it because like the vast
Well,
majority,
you just hit me with a ding dong. Your opinion is wrong.
yeah, yeah. Well, I'm just saying that you might have a strange opinion, but most people, whether you like it or not, would consider that to be like a an important
So
movie.
you're saying that you could, by metric standard, quantify a movie as good based on majority approval of said film.
Yeah, because our society is made out of people and culture is our society. So if everyone thinks a movie is great and part of our society, then it is.
I'm
That's it.
gonna I'm gonna I'm gonna
Who
hit the pause right here. If somebody makes a Joker joke, I'm going to throw you.
well, shh. You don't need to, yeah.
Okay.
You didn't need to mention it. I wasn't going to bring it up.
Okay. So what are the best movies? What are the best movies?
Anything that's in the Library of Congress, I imagine.
The Library of Congress has a movie section?
Yes, they
Yes.
specifically have like a whole section dedicated to
Library
important
of
media.
Congress
Back,
movies.
by the way.
Yes,
Welcome back.
and I guarantee you that fucking Forrest Gump is part of that library, in fact.
Let's take a look.
Let's see.
So what? How is the topic shifted? What's
Um,
up?
let's,
We're talking about, as I stated in too many words prior, how you
Mhm.
can quantify a movie as being good. And Preston says by metric qualification, a movie is good if it is liked by a majority of people. I don't know what a majority
I
would
didn't
be.
say it's good. I mean, it's part of our, it's part important to our society.
Okay, yeah. All
That's
right.
what the original topic was about.
Yeah.
Whether it's good or
All right.
not, that's just
Shawshank Redemption. I'd
hmm.
say that's pretty important to society.
I can't.
But why?
But why?
Why? Because it was a really, really good movie.
Well,
I don't remember it. I don't remember
okay.
Ghostbusters. I
Here, let me give you
wholeheartedly
an
agree.
example of what we're going for. I think Rambo is important to our society because it really engendered the sort of violence and that and aggressiveness that was promoted in males, and that it gave people a sort of romanticized idea of what war was like.
Yep.
That's the sort of thing we're shooting for, I think. That's how it affected our society. People still think that Rambo was a film about a guy shooting people and doing stunts and stuff when it was really about a man that got PTSD in the Vietnam War and how he couldn't acclimate himself to normal life afterwards.
Mhm.
That's
That's fair.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hmm.
So do you have anything like that? Anything on that depth? That's what I was.
I think
No.
I think Star Wars is pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, yeah, you can argue that Star Wars definitely definitely made
Okay.
being a
Well,
nerd more
how is
reasonable.
on that note? How is Star Wars contributed to society? What is it? You know?
Definitely
Um,
brought back the whole like the I don't, wait a second. You go ahead, Leon.
Star Wars kind of I don't want to say revitalized because the trend was still kind of like alive and well back then. But as you put in the sticky note, I think Star Wars is basically like the modern equivalent of a Western movie. Like not necessarily modern, but like I feel like it shares a lot of the same elements.
Oh yeah, no,
And
you have the hope inspiring,
uh-huh.
almost impermeable main character who
Uh-huh.
is, he's the hero. He's the hero from the start. You know him, you see him, humble origins to um
Telemundo.
Telemundo.
Fucking Telemundo.
All right, Randy, here we're podcasting. You wrote one of your college papers on Spaceballs. Tell us
That's
about that.
correct. Oh
Tell
wow.
us
Okay, I'm really
all
being
about
put
that.
on the spot here.
Wait,
Absolutely.
when did when did Randy get in here?
Just
Just
a
like
second ago.
5 seconds ago.
Ah, I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah,
Because we're
roughly,
recording.
approximately right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, the paper. So for reference, I was taking a course that it basically explored religious themes and undertones in science fiction, specifically science fiction literature. And for the final project, we had to specifically look at any piece of science fiction media that we enjoyed, whether it be a movie or a book or anything along those lines, even a video game. And yeah, so I was like, well, since I'm here, may as well use this to just completely meme as hard as I can and write a 10-page paper exclusively on Spaceballs. um, yeah, because like I don't know. Um, to be completely honest with you, a lot of it was just blown straight out of the butt, but I had a fun time writing it. I like to think that I made up some pretty good stuff. So yeah, it's more or less it.
You're
I
not going to
see.
tell us about any of the contents about how Spaceballs is
Oh yeah, I mean, if you want me to really just deep dive into it,
well,
I'd
don't
be
Like,
more than
go
happy.
right ahead. Go
skim the
right ahead.
top
Yeah.
at least.
hmm
Yeah, all right. So basically, I argued that throughout the movie, there's a whole lot of direct references to religion, lots of parody of religion, and parody of like more unexplainable phenomena, things like the Force and the shorts and stuff like that. And I use that to argue that in this satirization, it's basically used to criticize religion as a whole, and how it really only reinforces social socio-political hierarchies, status quos, things of the like, and how at least in the 20th century it's just become hyper commercialized and rides a lot on the gaining of wealth. And so I looked at just a bunch of like the stupid jokes that were in that movie, read way too much into them, and had a good time, and surprisingly got a much better grade than I was expecting.
Well, and I think even without it, without looking at the parody of Spaceballs, and if you look at Star Wars itself, I think there's still a lot of social commentary, at least that you could maybe not intended by George Lucas, but that you could definitely see in it of that, like the socially elite, or consisted of those who were, I guess, the strongest in the faith or the strongest in the church are the socially elite,
Yep.
Yeah,
if you want to take a look at the Jedi Council.
yeah, and also like the force of there being like a duality to spirituality is just like 100% oozing like Judeo-Christian kinds of rhetoric and ideas. So like there's
Yeah.
also that to look at. It's just it's so weird. I was actually looking because as a part of the research for this class, I was looking a lot at Star Wars, and I remember watching a specific lecture, and it was basically like, yeah, the idea of the Force is like rooted in like Judeo-Christian beliefs and also like types of Buddhism, and it all just like meshes all together to create this weird love child of all three, to create like a magic force that lets people pick up rocks with like their minds, you know?
Lots of people pick up their spaceships and take them out of the swamp.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to become a Buddhist monk and just be using force lightning on people who just cross me wrong, you know?
I am the Senate.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I am the Buddha.
I think the name Spaceballs is kind of funny.
Dude, honestly, hard agree.
Yep. No, I'm with you on that one.
I
Yes,
expected
sir.
that to be more controversial.
No, dude.
Nah, dude.
Spaceballs is
How
are you
funny.
Yeah, you're gonna disrespect Planet Spaceball like that, dude?
Planet Spaceball. Full disclosure: I've never seen Spaceballs in my life.
What?
Me neither.
What?
That is a 10-star movie.
Well, also it's not as controversial because of also the time that it was made in. And also when you
That's
look at
true.
who the director is, people were more likely to understand, oh yeah, this is just supposed to be a funny movie. So
Mel
film it
Yeah.
that way.
Brooks, God bless him.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I watched a fucking Tarantino movie last night. That was good. I watched
Which one?
Django Unchained.
Ooh, I still need to watch that.
That was a good fucking film. It ain't easy, and it ain't a kids movie.
No. None of Quentin's movies are.
Dude, honestly, I think Quentin Tarantino is one of the few people who, when he directs a movie, I think you need to take it in sittings. I really do. I think
Take
you need to
what?
you need to watch a Tarantino movie like you read a book.
Mm.
You got to give it breaks. Like you got to pause and like digest, you know? Because the movie in a way comes in chapters. And I think in between
Yes.
chapters you definitely need to sit there and like digest what just happened.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Once you get hit with Django going on a horse while Jim Croce's "I Got a Name" is blasting, you just got to take a moment and just let
You
that
got to
sink
take a
in.
yeah, you got to take a
Speaking
second.
of fucking like the Tarantino movies and also thinking about what Randy was talking about with the religion stuff. So you know how in Pulp Fiction when who was the guy, Marv, the one that got his
Mhm.
head accidentally shot, S- well around that time. So remember when the one guy popped out of the bathroom and started shooting at I forgot the characters' names, but you know who I'm talking about? Fucking
Yeah,
Jules
Maybe.
and
Vincent Vega
yeah.
Yeah.
gets caught in the
I think
bathroom.
with
And then but Jules was talking about how like that was God that like saved them or whatever because those bullet holes were basically right behind them.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then Vincent didn't acknowledge that and was like, "Oh no, that was just hard luck." But while Jules acknowledged that it was God and he said, "I'm going to quit now while I can." And then he survives, but Vincent dies.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Damn,
I mean, if
bro.
you want to draw that correlation, I think that's definitely one of many conclusions you could come to.
I don't know. I just thought
This
that was interesting because that
this is
was
so
brought up to me back when I was talking to somebody about Quentin, about that movie at my church back when I went to church. I was just like, huh,
Well, one of my things is I think faithful people look for faith in everything. That's part of
true.
like having a faith is,
Yeah,
you know, it's like they say, you see more cops when you look for cops.
yeah.
I was
I've
about
never
to
heard
say
that
it's a
said,
great
but but
it's
I
also a
don't
yeah,
know.
great connection. Just nothing equates Jesus like a narc, bro.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
in
it's
the Bible, Jesus was kind of the opposite of a narc.
Yeah, he
Dude
was.
He was
he was
letting shit slip under the table nonstop.
I think that should be what the Christian way really is. I think people need to take more inspiration from actual Jesus and not just like scripture. Like
Like,
Jesus was You know that's the kind of guy that got stoned on Saturday night and just hang out with his buddies, and like whenever you fucked with him, he'd just be like, "It's all right,
Okay,
dude."
maybe a little bit.
Okay.
I want.
Oh, that's a little
He
too
forgive,
far.
he didn't forget.
Okay,
yeah,
But-
yeah.
quick interjection. I totally grossly misread what you meant by getting stoned. I was like, dude, you'll see me,
I
mean
mean,
like getting rocks
different
chucked
era.
at me. Like that's technically probably
Kind
true,
of.
but...
Something even worse
Different
happens to him
era
later
of
on, you know.
stone. Different bad slang. Bad slang.
Yeah,
It's just really
Um,
funny that Jesus in the Bible is literally just like, I think you should care about people. I think rich people suck ass. Blah blah blah. And the rest of the Bible is like, yeah, you can rape children, but like, it's fine.
You have to marry him first.
You can rape children if you marry them first, but you can't be gay.
but I just find it interesting that
don't think it was
most
ever
of that stuff's
said.
in the Old Testament, and it's just back when I was a Christian, I did not like look at the Old Testament and whatnot. Like I looked
Oh,
at the Old
God.
Testament and took that shit with a grain of salt. Cause like Jesus' death and shit, like to me, that was supposed to be like, yeah, the Old Testament just kind of it gone. Like that's irrelevant now because
Uh-huh.
of what he did and everything.
Of course.
Because last time I checked in the Old Testament and whatnot, there was a verse saying that men can't have hair that go down their shoulders, and then another verse saying that men can't like violate their own hair and cut it themselves. Not only that, and then there was Samson
Uh-huh.
and also for the people who do know who Samson is, he was a hero, quote unquote, in the Bible where he had his power, but he couldn't drink, smoke, or cut his hair. And then later, some woman cut his hair and like to betray him and a bunch of other people and shit like that, and he got his eyes gouged out. And then as a last power, when he was being humiliated and shit, he like crashed down a bunch of pillars and then took everybody out inside this like big ass party. There's a whole lot more in this story going on than just he sinned because he got a haircut, but
Yeah, bro. He also took a rip from a dart. He cracked open a pack of Newports and just went ham, you know.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, that and it was, but one of the other things that I remember when I read that story was just he was kind of like a man child, like he was like a person that basically like abused his powers. Like he's like, oh, I'm this powerful person, so I should be getting all of this and shit like
I
that.
mean,
Like he was a whiny little power baby.
I mean, to be fair though, let's be real. If you had like Hulk strength, you tell me you would not be flexing that shit every minute of the day. Like,
I mean,
I would
I'd be
just, I would
flexing
like
it, but
pick
I
up the
wouldn't be a
fridge.
little demandy baby
Now,
about it.
is that
Demanding baby.
like is that actually said in the Bible that he was misusing his powers, or are you just like inferring that?
Like I'm kind of like I'm like not he wasn't like abusing them, but it was just he was basically just kind of like he was some okay, so you know how fuck, how do I explain this? Because it's just been so long since I've actually read the Bible and interpreted this story. So it was he had all the power he was a very powerful individual, and it was just when he didn't get his way, he would be upset like a child. Like that's what I'm trying to say.
So he lacked maturity, is what you're saying.
Pretty much,
Okay.
kind of.
To quote my favorite biblical figure, Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. Remember that, y'all.
Hey, you know what they
I
say?
say with great power comes great big booty bitches.
Smoking fat doinks in the Holy Land.
Who's trying to chill, smoke some loud, smoking loud out in Jerusalem with the boys.
There's Wolf.
Catch me at the Holy Sepulchre, vibing out with my boy J Dog.
Hey, dog.
Yeah, dude. You know what? If Jesus was such a chill man, I think it's not a sin to call him J Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think he'd care.
Yeah. I mean, dude was just straight vibing. So like, I don't know. Also, this brings me into like another really weird topic. If anyone wants to keep going on this route, I'm totally fine with it.
Oh
But like,
no,
Yeah,
I think it's time for a segue.
Yeah, go ahead.
nah, just the idea of nicknames in general, like, is already something that kind of weirds me out because I think I have a very unnicknameable name. But like the thing that especially weirds me out is when people just like use their first initial and add dog to it. Because like, is that really like a
It's not a
nickname?
nickname. It's just
Yeah.
bull.
I feel like that's just like some drunk frat bullfuckery that just happens.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like
like I
they're
Or
totally
just
trying
like
too
some
hard. Like,
or what
really?
people
I think nicknames should come and go naturally, and I think they should be something with meaning behind it. Like I think a good nickname has meaning, or is generally like I think there's a nickname and then there's like shorthand. There's a difference between a nickname and shorthanding. Like our buddy Raphael, we call him Robbie because not everybody wants to put together that many fucking uh, s- uh that
syllable.
many
Syllables.
syllables in order to be like, hey man, listen, you know?
Yeah, and also like, how else are we supposed to differentiate him from every 8-year-old's favorite Ninja Turtle? You know?
Hmm.
Exactly. How are they supposed to know we're not talking to, one, the great artist who has long since been deceased, or two, the fucking Ninja Turtle?
Yeah, exactly.
Um, a good example of a nickname that I think is really good um, is for a long time, I had a good friend of mine named Athena. Um, and when we were talking and getting to know each other, um, we were talking about favorite colors, and she said like, "Oh, her favorite colors are like the colors of the sunset." And I said, "Well, that's oddly fitting for you. Like that's just kind of fits your personality. It fits like the vibe." And from then on, I just kind of called her Sherbert because it kind of hit the color palette. And you know,
Sure.
Actually, it's pronounced sorbet.
is it?
Actually, no.
I'm pretty
So
sure
there's a
they're two
sherbet and then there's sorbet. There is a clear difference. I
Yeah.
work at a yogurt shop, and it pisses me off when people call our sorbet sherbet because there's a clear difference between the two. Sherbet has dairy, meanwhile sorbet is a water-based fruit concentrate.
Ah,
Yep.
Damn,
the
dude.
truth has come out.
There you
Yeah,
go. So I
damn.
was absolutely right.
The ice
Yes.
cream expert has entered the room.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
Y'all rocking with gatekeeping ice cream now?
I'm keeping yogurt, not ice cream.
What's the difference? Who cares?
Yeah, I was okay. Just saying that in and of itself is gatekeeping ice cream.
Yeah.
Frozen yogurt is ice cream. You cannot
No,
change my
it's
mind.
fucking not.
Oh yeah,
Kyle,
don't
shut
get
up.
me
Okay, this
started
is a
on this.
terrible topic. I don't want to talk about frozen yogurt.
Yeah,
Why? Do
we're
you have
trying
a
to
problem
like
with frozen yogurt?
we're trying to keep
I'm
World War
fine with
III from
frozen
happening
yogurt.
We
here.
should get frozen yogurt sometime.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
There was a place near my piano class. I'll.
Dox yourself,
Sad
do
that
it.
I
Don't be
live
shy.
1,600
Dox
miles
myself.
away.
Hmm.
Wait,
How
okay,
much?
but I do have a question about this place. Is it a place where they have set prices, or is it by weight?
I think it's by weight.
Ah,
So it's a communist, it's a capitalist scam, basically, is what you're
yeah, those are
saying.
like hella scams, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they have lots. They have like 30 different toppings, so it's automatically worth it.
Yeah, but the toppings are going to contribute more to the weight.
Yeah.
This is the disaster that is late stage capitalism. We
That
depend
place
on a
be having
weight
like
based
78
frozen yogurt
toppings,
economy.
bro.
This is
Like we
doomed
dead
to
ass have like
collapse.
3 flavors of popping boba.
Okay, I think that's crossing the line. It's violating the Geneva Conventions out here with the for frozen yogurt.
I,
I've had it before. It's
People
fine.
get it.
It's okay.
Like it's okay. I don't do it all the time. I mainly do it when I'm torqued, but that's a different
I
story.
fucking love that. That is the best way to say that I am stoked. Yeah, bro, I'm torqued.
He's torqued,
As a
dude.
mechanic.
Yeah, bro. Call this man the monkey wrench because he be torqued.
Yeah, you're torqued. How many foot pounds, bro?
420.
Listen, man, crucify me all you want, but I'm going back to the frozen yogurt discourse, even though Leon has very clearly stated that this is not a battle that he'll be fighting.
Okay.
Listen, I'm a strict yogurt traditionalist, all right? Like there are
Yogurt
some toppings.
traditionalist.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
no toppings? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I would like to think of myself as that's just like being,
Is that a
like a
traditionalist or
fascist.
is that a purist?
That's a purist, I think.
No, because
Um,
I think that distinction lies in if you're willing to mix flavors. I think if you don't mix flavors, that makes you a purist.
no. I think purist is like you don't even buy frozen yogurt. You just like you're at the mall and you like see the lady with a tray of little samples and you just like grab like 3 of them as you go through the mall doing your shopping. That's a
That's
You just like
purist.
grab them and
thrifty.
throw them in the trash.
That ain't a purist. That's broke.
Okay, well, you don't have to call me out like this, all right? Like, listen, man. Okay, so I don't know. There's just some toppings were never meant to be on like any dairy related products, and like that's just the cut and dry.
Like, can you provide us with some examples?
Yeah, sure.
I don't think you
Honestly,
should
I'm
put
gonna.
gummy bears or gummy worms on your fucking frozen yogurt because it gets
That
too
shit
cold and
pisses me off
They
so
they,
bad.
Yeah, I don't
they
get
get
why people
so
do that.
fucking hard and difficult to chew.
Yeah.
Just get a bag
thing
of
with
fucking
chocolate.
gummy bears.
Just
Oh,
put
this is.
sprinkles on there like a normal person. Jesus Christ.
Are y'all rocking with sprinkles on the on the frozen yogurt?
I think it's fine.
I
Like,
wish
it's
Paul
a-
was
it's a-
here.
It's basically decoration. It doesn't actually
It's
add to
bas-
the flavor.
Yeah,
it really
but like,
doesn't.
what the fuck? What does add to the flavor? What do they have?
Oreos.
I mean,
little
for
bit of
ice
chocolate
cream,
sauce.
it's like
Oreos. I could see
chocolate
a little
or-
bit of like caramel or chocolate. I could see, yeah.
Yeah.
I say no.
I think you start like the line gets drawn at nuts. Like you can include nuts on a frozen yogurt, but like anything like more obscure than
What kind
that
of
is
nuts
like
do you put on a frozen
unacceptable.
yogurt?
Listen, I've no like if you're having
These
a nice,
nuts, bitch.
that's it. I'm out. I can't. I came here to have a good time. And I'm being
feeling
attacked,
man.
harassed.
Okay, no, but for real, like, do you put pecans on your frozen yogurt?
I mean, I think the wackiest I'll ever get is probably like walnuts, but like that's only if it's like
Probably
I'm
the
in a
most
very
common is just like
particular
peanuts
mood.
or something.
Yeah, but I think it depends on the peanut because some peanuts get really salty.
Well,
You
well,
Yeah.
they do.
That could be good though. That could be a good thing, like baseball peanuts on your
It's kind of like how people put like peanuts in their cola or whatever, that weird thing.
in their cola.
Or was Pepsi? Was it Pepsi? I forgot. It was
I
putting
don't.
peanuts in.
Why would you put
Wait, let me look
anything in your soda that isn't fucking ice?
I feel like we've talked about this before. How do none of you recognize this? Peanuts and Coke. Yeah, see, I'm not hallucinating this. This people put peanuts in their
You
Coke.
have some explaining to do.
I am
Yeah.
completely
I'm
mentally
not the
checked
one.
out.
Okay.
So I found a little blurb here, and it says, according to the National Peanut Federation site, the practice likely
National what?
originated in the 1920s when workers with dirty hands didn't want to touch their peanuts, so they just dumped them in their Coke.
What?
Oh my
I-
god. That was a lot to take in.
And I guess
Yeah.
like with modern day practice, some people like the saltiness of the peanut mixed in with the sweetness of the Coke, kind of like how some people. Actually, I'm not. That's
Some people do
compared to how a lot of
heroin.
niggas would be far fetched.
Yeah.
The Peanut Federation.
Holy shit!
Yeah, dude. One can only imagine what wacky shenanigans go on at the National Peanut Federation, dude.
Federation. They have a federation, dude.
Dude, there's like a
Yeah,
federation for almost everything.
the International Peanut Conglomerate.
Like,
But, like-
there's literally a.
What the fuck was that, Sahana? She went to jump up. I have like one of those Target, like the 3-drawer things, next to my desk. And there's a blanket on top of it for her because she usually sits up there. And she went to jump up, and I reached down to pet her. And so she's weird. She doesn't like being pet unless if she's sitting still. Like she doesn't like being pet like nearly any of the time. So she starts to walk over to jump up, and I go to pet her, and like 90% of the time, her first reaction is like move away from my hand. But for whatever reason, instead of moving away from my hand, she continued with the jump, and she like slid forward on her back feet and like stood up and like it looked like whenever you see a 3D model just kind of slide, but she was standing up on her back feet and then she popped up onto the drawer thing.
Amazing.
What the hell?
But going back
Dude,
to like the Federation type shit though, there's literally a organization called the Phobos Cartel. Have any of you ever heard about this?
No.
No, lay it on us.
But allegedly the Phobos Cartel is like the 4 or 5 leading light bulb companies back in like the 1920s, and what the cartel was supposed to do was to regulate the light, like like main world leading light bulb companies, but not to make good quality and safe light bulbs, but to actually decrease the quality of the light bulbs so they wouldn't last as long. Because during the time, light bulbs were lasting too long, and they wanted to make them last not as long so they could make more money.
Capitalism is working.
Like there's a
You know
Yeah.
what?
whole
Nature is
Great
healing.
here on it, and there's been proof of like fines and whatnot of these light bulb companies when they, because I think the limit date that they had was like 12,000 hours, and if you went over, there was like a set fine depending on how longer the light bulbs lasted, and there's
I
proof
did
of
a
these
quick
fines.
I did a quick Google search of this actually. And it's kind of funny. I read about this online a little bit ago, but there's a light bulb that is never burnt out from
Oh yeah,
the same era. So the Phobos cartel was created in the 1920s, mid 1920s. There's a light bulb from the same era, maybe a little bit before, that is never burnt out.
yeah. Oh, and it's in a fire station, and I remember reading about this too. But they had to like when they had to like move the fire station and transport the light bulb like went out for like zero point 0.3 seconds and then came back on. And apparently it was like enough, like it wasn't long enough for the Guinness Book of World Records to be like, nuh-uh. They
Huh.
just continued it. They just continued the streak because it was such a short time that it was off.
Yeah.
Like,
Like my question is, how the fuck did they do that? I need to like re-remember how they did that.
I think my
it's
question is, why did this building care so much about a singular light bulb?
They didn't. It just happened to be there
Hey, I
until
mean,
they
if you had a
noticed.
light bulb that never burnt out, wouldn't you care about it?
I mean, I would just be like, wow, this light has really been on for a while. I wouldn't want to burn out the light bulb and then just like turn off the light.
I mean,
I don't know. Maybe I'm just brainwashed by that corporation.
yeah, you're brainwashed by the Phobos cartel.
Yeah, I'm indoctrinated to expect short lifespans out of these light bulbs.
Yeah.
Man's been subliminally manipulated.
By the free hand or by the invisible hand of the free market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is so sad. Can we abolish the socioeconomic hierarchy?
If
Based.
only.
God, I wish that were me.
Randy, I feel like I don't hear enough about politics from you,
Mhm.
but I'm really curious about like where you lie.
Oh, I mean, if you want to know, I'm just like a straight up communist, but
Oh yeah, me too.
I
Off
don't
top.
know. I try to keep out of politics as much as
Yeah,
possible because
because you've
you
said some
know,
pretty based shit over the years, and I've been like, is he bread pilled?
Bread
nah,
pilled.
dude, I'm doomer pilled.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Oh, it's not a it doesn't have a set meaning.
It means
It's a
whatever
type of
is relevant to the conversation.
So is it
yeah.
doomer pilled if I want to if I say that I want to eat a 20 gauge shotgun shell?
Oh,
I
hell
mean,
yeah, of course it is.
Yeah,
As
but I
long
that's
as
mean,
what you
that's
intend.
yeah.
yeah, but that's like hyper doomer pilled. Like that's like like you should like probably call a hotline or something. type groomer, or I almost Jesus.
Well,
Oh
hang
my
on.
god!
Do you
I almost
mean
just said
eat?
groomer pill. I want to cry.
Wait, do you mean like eat a 20 gauge shotgun shell, like,
Yeah,
and use a
just
shotgun as a
No, I mean like
utensil, or
Kurt
just straight
Cobain.
up eat it?
Kurt Cope.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding. My mental health is on the rise lately. I've been
ooh,
doing better.
So,
Oh, wow, baller.
Yeah. I mean, this weekend I gave myself a break on my sleep schedule, but I've been keeping up pretty well on getting up at 8 a.m. and you're working out and my 5 month was on the 31st with Colton.
Hmm.
That was really nice. Unfortunately, I've been quarantined because I got corona, which I'm quarantined for the next couple of days.
Mm.
Wednesday we're good.
How have your symptoms been?
Boring. I was really expecting to be dying. It's kind of lackluster, to be honest.
I mean, like, have you felt anything significant?
I've had a really aggravating headache for the past week. On a pain scale of 1 to 10, it's been about a pesky 2 consistently.
Oh God,
Compared
that
to
sounds
other headaches,
miserable.
or just like overall?
What?
Compared to like similar headaches you've had, or just overall?
I've
pain?
had headaches like in my life. I've had migraines that are so bad I am physically ill. Um like pain that is so bad that it makes me nauseous. Um and I've
is that
had
not
headaches that
common with like
are
migraines?
so bad I can't see out of one eye. Um
That's not common.
but this is like literally it just feels like somebody's tapping on the inside of my skull.
Mm.
Yep. Anything else besides the headache? Like, have you been coughing, runny nose?
A little
Oh,
stuffy. A little
I hear
stuffy.
it.
Not that bad though. Like don't even need to blow my nose, not bad. It's really pathetic. I was expecting to be dying or something.
I mean, you are a pretty young, healthy individual.
No, I'm not.
Mainstream media been
I'm pretty
hyping
much
up this COVID
immunocompromised
shit
like the
as
rest of
if
my
it's gonna
family.
kill you.
Are you really?
I am. Yeah. Do you think somebody walks away with being
Oh yeah, I forgot you died.
I literally have so many health issues. It's not even funny. Like, don't get me wrong. I have all of Carissa and Landon and my mom's health issues. They're just not as bad.
I see.
Like, I'd have just as many problems. It's just not on that same scale. Or
There are a
like
lot of variables that go into how severe any
That's true.
case of COVID is.
Yeah,
You guys
Ryan
could just
brought
have
it home.
really, really good genes for the job, you know?
Yeah, well, the last strain that we got hit with, this whole family got hit with, I was just totally immune to.
Mm-hmm.
dude, he's just built different. All right.
Yeah.
Yup.
Honestly.
Very excited to get microchipped on Monday.
Let's go, bro. It'll be like Oh god, what's that one like security app where like you can have like a group and you can just see where everyone is at all
Life
seconds of the day?
360.
Life
I actually use
360,
that
bro.
with people.
Oh yeah, I have
With
that
It's
as
who?
well.
terrible.
Vaccine. I don't want to be any
None of
more
your
gay than
business.
I already am.
None of your
You use it with
beeswax,
your
bro.
girlfriend? She keeping tabs on you?
My girlfriend and others.
Bro, you should put your home radius to be like 10,000 miles.
I'm gonna do that actually.
You're like in the middle of Guatemala, and it's just like, yep, Leon's home, guys. Dude, we out here rocking with the Guatemalans.
You know what's
No one
funny
better.
is my mom actually put one of those tracker jacker apps on my phone. It was Find Friends.
Fine. Wow, that's
Yeah,
most
it's
horrible
the
euphemism.
Yeah, I was about to say,
it's
I
the
really.
Apple one. And she used to use it to keep a track on where I was. But me being, I was a nasty little kid, so I was always in trouble. And I always had my computer taken away. So whenever my mom was at work, I'd find wherever she hid my computer and I'd play on my computer until she got home from work. And in order to keep track of when she was coming home from work, because her work times would change, because sometimes she would work overtime, sometimes she wouldn't, I would use the same app she tracked me with to track her.
Amazing.
The students become the teacher, dude.
Based.
The hunted becomes the hunter.
Yeah.
When I left
Dude,
you,
those-
I was but a student, but now I am the master.
Those apps are scary, man.
They
Like,
can be.
like for sure. Like, thank God. I mean, okay, well, that's a bit of an overstatement because apps like
I'm
Find My
kind of thankful
iPhone or
for them
whatever
because,
exist.
like, if I get hit by a car, I'd like somebody to know where I am.
I don't
Yeah.
know, dude.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather just be left on the side of the road than like have someone constantly know where I am.
Well,
Yeah.
that honestly, if I don't want somebody to know where I am, I leave my phone at home.
You burn your phone in thermite and walk east towards the rising sun.
Dude, you know what I miss?
I
Like,
saw this coming a mile
I was
away.
telling Leon about this. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was watching. You ever watch Burn Notice?
Burn notice? Never heard of it.
It's this show. I'm making my boyfriend watch it with me again. Um, it's this show about a spy, um, who gets burned. Um, and it's like, oh, let me see the air dates. It was 2007 to 2013. I miss like 2007, like where you could just buy some shitty little phone off of like a street vendor, and you could call whoever you needed from it, and then when you're done with it, you just break it in half and throw it away. Like true burner phones, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I get why they have their uses, but like, I was like a little child of the Lord. To a degree, still am. So like, I
Amy's
never like
definitely
even
good
left
boy
that.
build.
Yeah, basically. I was like, "Hey, mom, can my friend sleep over?" And she would be like, "No," and I'm like, "Okay." But
No.
yeah, no. Yeah, like I totally get it. It's just like such an abstract concept, Like just use a payphone at that point.
Yeah, true. Payphones
Yeah.
must have been discontinued now.
Yeah, they really are just like
The only
symbols of
ones
a.
that I can think of are like the emergency phones that are I think they're every 2 miles on highways.
Mm.
Oh
What,
yeah,
those are
Like
those I
things.
see those.
with
Yeah.
like genuine payphones, it's like I've seen a couple, I think, or I've just seen the areas where they are and they're not actually there. But it's like I want to test and see if they work, but at the same time, I don't want to because
But at the
God
same time, I
knows
don't
what
carry coins.
cultures are forming on those phones.
The bacterial samples you could collect.
Like I
Dude,
could probably make a very weird street kombucha with a payphone culture.
I think that's so interesting too, because like, the American perception of the payphone is so different from like everywhere else in the world. Like when you think of the UK, like you think of these like posh little like fancy little privacy boxes, and you
TARDIS.
close yourself in. Yeah, you basically just walk into the TARDIS and you just like dial up whoever you need to dial up, and then like I don't know, talk about tea or whatever the hell British people talk about,
You
and
think
then you're
about an
done with it.
American payphone, you think about a phone strapped to a steel pole in the middle of New York City at, 11 o'clock at night. It's got God
Yeah,
knows what cultures on it. And
Yeah.
down at the base of the pole, there's a homeless man who's, smells like piss and vodka.
yeah, dude, it's literally like out of Mad Max. Like
Yeah.
it's just pure chaos at every telephone. Like, dude, I've seen it to where like people have like literally ripped the phone books that are like attached by like a little chain,
Yeah.
like clean in half, and then like somehow like hit it so hard against like the actual dialer of the phone that it's like lodged within like the crevices of the buttons.
What the
Like,
fuck?
how do you do that, dude? It's absurd.
Maybe they're just like
Like,
taking the pages and they're like it's stuffing it into the crevices in between the buttons.
yeah, it's like,
That is a different, either way, that's a different level.
yeah, dude,
I
they're like
made money
freaking
off of
Minecraft
exchange returns.
2v2t anarchy server type like chaos at every single one of them, man. It's just a mess.
Remember, I've got like with
They play in
payphones,
real
I'd
life
always
like it's faction warfare.
you ever stick your finger in the change return of the old payphones and see if you get like a quarter or something out of it?
Mm-mm. Oh,
Oh,
that reminds me of something I used to do all the time though at the malls. Um, so basically, you know how at the malls they have like those little like towers of candy machines.
yeah.
Um, and
Every
it's like
time I'd ask my mom every time for like until I was like 12, and she'd be like, "Dude, you have no idea when the last time that thing was emptied was."
She's got a point though.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, but on the other hand, haha, it's funny.
But yeah,
On the other
also
hand,
Mike and Ike that are
gumball.
literally like stalactites. They hit different. And
this stalactitized gumball. Yum.
this
For my
actually ties
extra
into what
crunch.
this ties into the story I was gonna give. So at the mall they had like the different tiers. So on the bottom row there was like the trashy like 25-cent candies. You know, like the Mike and Ike's, the like the
Don't
M
call
and
Mike and
M's.
Ike trashy.
Listen, Mike and Ike's are great. I'm a huge fruit flavored snack man.
Okay.
But you have to acknowledge that like out of the hierarchy of like the mall station like candy machines, they are definitely on the lowest rung of the ladder. And then
Those little like fruit shaped stones are the
Oh
best. Like
yeah,
the rocks.
the fruit rocks.
You guys are
Fruit
insane.
rocks.
these dudes
I'm
out
glad
here
Andrew
eating
knows.
like they're eating like real like they're eating the freaking Flintstones like powdered chalky vitamins.
Yeah, it's just a
They're
Flintstone
literally
gummies,
eating
but
that, but
without the
instead they have like
nutrition.
negative nutritional value.
Oh my god, the fucking fruit stones! I know exactly
Oh,
what you're talking
yeah,
about now.
now I
Oh
know.
my
Oh my
god,
god,
those are
okay.
so bad.
I've never
No,
even
those
eaten one
things are
of
the
those, but I
fucking
can imagine it.
best.
I can imagine it.
But you know what? I'll take those fruit rocks any day over the heart candies.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
100%.
those,
I've used
yeah,
the
those
heart
are.
candies more as
Oh
actual
yeah.
chalk than candy.
Wait, what
God.
were the ones that had the freaking bananas in it? Like the ones that were like physically in the shape of bananas and
The
like were
fruit
banana
rocks?
flavored like chalky
Those are the fruit
candy?
rocks.
Those are the wait, those are the
rocks.
fruit rocks?
Yeah,
Those are the
those are the
fruit
fruit
rocks.
Oh,
rocks.
oh my god, those are abhorrent. I love how we're
No.
all just I love how we're all just like have no idea how to conceptualize it, and then we each come to the like realization at different times. Like it's really just staggered. This discussion has been like 5 different realizations and 5 different opinions over like 10 minutes.
Here, look, I got a picture of the fruit rocks. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, the runts.
Ah, you
The
will.
Runts, yeah. The
The-
Runts brand fruit rocks.
Wait, let me see. Ah,
Honey
those.
fruit rock made
You can
my
almost you
throat
like looking at the
crack.
picture. I can almost taste them.
I can already
almost
feel the back
my
of
teeth
just
breaking.
I
yeah,
can
the back
already hear the.
Oh god.
Oh my
PTSD.
god, those.
looking at that image is just like caking the back of my throat with like powder already. It's just
the film that forms across the roof of your mouth and the back of your throat.
dude, I never realized swallowing was such a difficult thing for the human body to accomplish until I had like a solid 2 handfuls of those.
Dude, I'm telling you, those are some of the best fucking quarters I have ever spent.
I
I'm
don't know,
glad you can
man.
enjoy that kind of food. You're
I-
pretty easy
when
to
I-
feed.
When we started this podcast and I said that I eat fucking garbage, I meant it.
Dude's literally eating rocks. Like
Eat sand was not a joke.
You
yeah, this
trained
is
your stomach all these years. Now you can eat anything.
I
yeah,
remember,
the fruit rocks is a corollary to the sand eater stereotype.
bro, when I was working today, I was talking to my coworker and I accidentally dropped like a piece of a topping and she went to go pick it up and throw it away. I'm like, oh nah, 5 second rule.
5 second
Don't
rule.
you are
Amen.
sir.
And she's basically saying, oh, that's disgusting and whatnot. It's like, oh, you're just saying that because you're not poor. And it's like, no, I have standards. Yeah, you're not poor.
But you work in like food service.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna actually do it. Like I was making a joke, but still.
Oh, thank God. I thought you would like carry through and we're just like, yeah, let me y'all rocking with the floor candy today. Like
I
I was
think
Yeah,
almost
no, I wouldn't put it
mortified.
in there.
I
I was
think
like
that
5-second rule to eat it herself.
the there is causation, not even correlation. There is causation between the fact that I grew up eating fruit rocks and that I am not affected by coronavirus.
Yeah, dude. It's like how if you we got
Oh wow, it's a party.
a new
Oh.
name. Oh, we got Ezri.
The
What's up?
5-man
Damn.
podcast.
Oh, you doing your funny podcast?
Did you not read the fucking?
No,
I don't think anyone does.
Nobody reads the thing.
and no one ever will.
You're right.
I don't wait. Was
You're
there
part
like
of the
a thing?
podcast now.
Yeah,
What?
I'll draw your portrait in the MS Paint file.
No, I
Do some
demand
portraits, man.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
That's what I've already been. That's what I've been doing.
Nice.
You've been doing portraits.
Well,
I can't wait to see
simple.
this.
Like recently?
No, I mean for this stream, I have a MS Paint thing going where I'm just like
Oh,
sort of
Yeah,
doodling.
that's
like,
what he's doing is the backdrop.
Yeah. Since it's a video, you know.
I see.
No.
What are you streaming
Sounds
on?
sick.
Just
Oh, we're not streaming.
we're
We're
not streaming.
recording.
It's recording OBS.
Nah, bro, he's on Twitch.
Obs.
He's on
Hobbies.
he's on Mixer. He's on every streaming service. He's on
Ezri-
Instagram
Mixer shut
Live,
down.
Facebook Live.
Ezri, what are your thoughts on the fruit rocks?
On the what?
The fruit rocks.
Fruit rocks?
Like, okay, so if you're in the mall and you're walking around the mall
I hate them.
and there are like the little like the candy
saw the
towers, you
I
know?
saw the picture. No, they suck.
Yeah. What? Get out.
I only ever really liked the banana ones as a kid.
They're
even
all
though
good.
they're
Oh my
mid.
god, how did you have the objectively worst opinion? of the entire
What do you mean, the
She didn't
purple
like
one?
any of them but the worst one.
The bananas, I like the banana ones a
Just maybe
lot.
the
I think
purple
those are
one.
my favorite.
Yeah, the banana ones are the only like tolerable ones, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Honestly,
like, they're the
banana
best,
candy
they're
is
so
such a
mid.
hard thing to master.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not much
Because
of, like a candy.
I think a lot of
eater.
candy is hard to master because a lot of candy very much blurs the line between cough syrup and edible.
yeah, like
Yeah.
most banana things that I've had, Laffy Taffy, just taste absolutely terrible.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And also with grape stuff, it does not taste like grape. It just tastes like purple.
Yeah.
That's purple flavor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle
Yeah.
had a bit on that. Got any purple drink? Oh, we have grape juice. No, you got any purple drink?
No, we have
The
grape
purple
juice.
things
Yes,
dissolved in
the
water.
purple drink.
You don't understand how tempted I am to make a Five Nights at Freddy's reference because of the reference of the color purple.
I'll-
Like
I'll kick
The-
you from my server.
the
Do
indoctrination.
it, do
has
it, do
been,
it,
like,
do it. Fuck Kyle.
Don't make me do it.
I'll kick Kyle, do it.
No.
I'll keep the peace. I'll keep from World War III happening and everyone pressing the big red button on their.
The
On
big
their
red
desk.
button.
We were
Calm
5
down.
seconds to
Not
midnight.
Freddy.
We were so
I-
close.
What?
You don't know about the nuclear annihilation clock or whatever?
No.
During the Cold War.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The one where it's like, oh, if
that
this.
one.
Yeah, if this doesn't like if
Yeah.
this timer runs down without like being stopped, it's just gonna launch all of the nukes to every potentially threatening country in the world.
That's why I said 5 seconds to midnight. We were that close.
There's also the funny Iron Maiden song 2 minutes to midnight.
Yeah. I thought that's kind of what you were getting at. I was like, that's not the song.
You're like, firstly,
Sorry.
that's not the song. Secondly, it does not seem like a song you would be listening to.
Yeah. I didn't know you were an Iron Maiden fan, but
Yeah, I like Iron
clearly
Maiden.
you're definitely. I loved them. I was a
Yeah.
metalhead.
I think I like up to Fear of the Dark, and then after that they just kind of start to.
Yeah. I think they should have stopped making music a while ago.
Honestly, no idea about any of Iron Maiden's music. Like the first thing that pops into my mind when I think of that name are like those stupid meme formats where it's like the super angsty like skeleton demon. And he's like, I'm telling you, Terry, you can't take both the Mountain Dews from the fridge. One of them's for me. Like just those stupid meme formats and like
Oh yeah,
honestly,
Land of the Free.
probably better.
Why can't I rinse my balls in the Burger King soda dispenser?
Yeah, basically, just like exactly those. And like Honestly, I can't say that I'd be more or less satisfied with the actual association to Iron Maiden and like their music when I hear their name and over the skeleton.
I don't know. I was a bigger Megadeth fan than I was an Iron Maiden fan. And I
That's
still
even
am.
more obscure to me.
What?
Dude, I'm telling you, I don't listen to like metal.
Remember, he's a lord. He's been lord pilled.
Yeah, bro, the
He's
most
Lord
intense
Killed. That makes sense.
the most intense music I listen to is Creed, bro.
Oh, I thought we were talking about like Hallelujah.
No.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, but like on the low though, Creed was low key bumping to a different beat, bro. And I know that's an objectively wrong take, but I'll stand by it and fight on this hill.
Die on it too.
Yeah, just everything, the full shebang. But yeah, I don't, dude, honestly, don't even know why my family listened to it. I like my dad is like the least Christian dude you'll ever meet and was just rocking like blasting Christian rock on his like old Ford
No, I used to listen
Forerunner.
to Skillet, dude.
Get what?
What's next? Limp Bizkit?
Skillet, they're
Skillet
I
and Owl
think
City are Christian bands.
yeah, it's like Christian.
Wow.
I don't know what genre it is. I suck at identifying genres. Let me check.
You would not believe your eyes. 3.5 fireflies.
Christian gospel. What?
Let's go.
Okay, described as Christian rock, Christian metal, blah 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 blah.
And it's really weird because you like when you listen to Skillet, you wouldn't imagine that at first.
Well, yeah, they're not usually like about God or anything.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
They're usually about like I don't know, injustice
Feeling like a monster.
and that. But
Dude.
like I started listening to
Alright.
them right when I was like at the beginning of my like I'm an atheist phase in middle school,
The irony.
which wasn't a phase because it never went away. But like I was like,
Bros, it was God's way of putting you back on the right track.
yeah, when you were listening to them, but I didn't start listening to them on my own until middle school.
Oh.
I'm an atheist. I'm so quirky.
Excuse me. Sorry. Anybody got any ideas for some new topics?
Why are
You want to
saying
have our obligatory video game segment now?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
So
Hi, welcome to my Fantastic Mr. Fox podcast.
that's as much as I love that movie.
That's what it is now.
I don't think I could talk about it for that long.
No, you don't have to talk about it. It's just me talking about Fantastic Mr. Fox by myself.
All right,
Ezri
I'm gonna
cast.
give you 5 minutes. I'm gonna go make a cup of tea.
I can't think
Start
of that.
talking.
I don't know
Start
that many words.
Okay,
Come
it's
on.
okay. It's Ezri and Randy. You have to talk about Fantastic Mr. Fox, the movie.
Are we actually doing this? Because I can
That
I can
box
I
is
can
so
talk
Oh
about
fantastic.
it.
man, go ahead because Kyle's making his tea. It's just gonna be Randy and Ezri talking about.
I can talk about it, but not on the spot. I'm not podcast material.
Just
All
fuck
right.
it.
Listen, Wes Anderson, dude. First things first. I know Ezra is gonna hard agree with this. The soundtrack,
Whoa!
Chef's Kiss, dude. Oh my god. I don't know the songs. I do know there's one with a very good name. Ezra, could you do us the honor of sharing it?
Just another dead rat garbage pail behind a Chinese restaurant.
Yes, sir. And that song goes hard. It's not even like, oh, it's funny. It's like it's funny song because like, haha, dead rat behind garbage
Yeah,
can.
man dies in that song.
Yeah, it's like, it's just it's such a like a weird. I don't know the sound. It's just got a really interesting southern twang to it, which you would never expect.
And Bogus Bunsen Bean, catchy
Oh
as
my
hell.
god. Mm.
Christopherson's theme, so warm. We're gonna only talk about the soundtrack.
Yeah, honestly, I probably could, but like, I think the thing that makes it such a great movie is just the fact that it has a cohesion to it. Like, the music you would expect to be like this way, right? Because it's like it's entirely separate spirits. It's got like weird, like southern twangy sounds to it, and then you have the story, and it's like a story of survival in like an increasingly urbanized and changing world, and like trying to like adapt to this new society. And then like all these different things, they seem so completely out of there. And Wes Anderson just goes and like brings them all together in the weirdest way humanly possible, and it works. Like like I don't know, I can't describe it, and I know literally no one has anything to say on this because God knows I'm the only person who thinks this much about a movie that was made in 2008. But oh, just beautiful.
I'm glad you're that passionate about Fantastic Mr. Fox, the movie.
Maybe I
Oh,
should watch this movie.
oh my
You
God, you
haven't
haven't
seen
seen
it?
it?
I haven't seen it.
Even I have
No.
seen it. They got streamed in one of the in Nada Kingdom.
Yeah. We've literally put a gun to everyone's head in this call and forced them to watch the movie as like a collective whole. It's so good.
I'll get to
Um,
it
yeah,
eventually.
and for reference, my favorite character is one of the characters from, or my favorite character is my profile picture for Discord right now. It's his name is Ash, and he's a little goblin, and like, oh, there goes Ezri, by the way.
Up.
Um,
Her internet cut out.
yeah, I know, I
Ah.
saw, but
Little
yeah, dude,
goblin.
yeah, he's literally defined as like a goblin. And here, I let me find a quote that I think perfectly encapsulates who Ash is. So, well, I the wrong. Um, basically, the quote is he's apologizing to another character for reasons I can't really disclose for spoiler reasons. Um, and he's basically just acknowledged how terrible he's treated this his cousin basically in spite of like really weird circumstances and really tough times. And he basically just defines himself. He says, and I quote, "I'm grumpy, I spit, I wake up on the wrong side of the bed, I'm just," and then he wiggles his hands in front of his face and says, "I'm just different." And like, okay, you know, the way I said it like really makes me seem like, oh, I'm not like other girls, I'm quirky. But like, oh, he's just like such a weird, awkward character that's like in every way so unlikable that it just has a charm to it. Like he'll be talking to one of his like one of the other characters, like his dad, for example, and his dad will be like, "Hey, son, you're kind of a beta male loser," and he'll just like spit on the floor and walk away. Like that's the total definition of like a little shitter, and it's spectacular. Um, and I'm trying to avoid using the K word, but I very much identify with Ash. Also, like I really wasn't lying when I said I could rant about this for literally the entirety of this time. But like by all means, I want to hear all of your guys' voices so we can tastefully talk about something else.
Of course.
What is there to talk about?
Yeah,
Dude, I don't know.
Kyle was our driving force.
Was he though?
What was he though? He tried.
Yeah, he
I mean,
definitely made an effort. I can appreciate that.
A+ effort.
I think he was doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, he did a good job for the task he was given.
Especially with five people who could just totally take everything off the rails.
Yep.
He kept us pretty firmly on the fruit rock. Oh, hey, Ezri's back.
Hey, Ezra's
I can't believe
back.
Leon is so jealous of me that he came to my house and turned off my internet when I was talking about Fantastic Mr. Fox.
It's funny.
I
You
would
missed-
never do that ever.
Unbelievable.
Dude, that
I
actually,
find it disgusting that you'd even accuse me of doing such a thing.
I watched you do it.
I
Where's
saw
your
him
proof?
walk over to my modem. that that actually reminds me of something funny that happened for in my classes the other day. Um, it was so basically so obviously like school is taking place from home, so I'm taking a physics lab, which by the way, like hell. But basically, you know, like we have to use online simulations of the things that we would normally be doing in person. And someone, I guess, just really decided that they didn't want to do the lab for the day because they just went and like DDoSed DDoSed the website that we use our simulation for, and and the website was out for like plural hours. I don't think it came back on until I think 8:30 Pacific time, which means it was like almost midnight out east where our school is actually at. So they had just like literally like shat on the website so they could get out of doing homework for like a single day.
I probably spend more effort on that.
Oh, they 100% did, and I can assure you, they sure learned a lot more about physics
For
and
the
computer
Google stat.
science by like destroying this website than they did from like actually doing the lab.
Yeah, every now and then I think about Robbie telling his teacher her password to her school account.
Oh my god, yeah, dude, that
Fucking Chad move.
it's like remember when he was talking about how he like sent a zip bomb to the school and crashed the internet for like days.
I zoned out.
So,
Wait, what's going on?
oh yeah, we were talking about
I
Robbie.
mentioned our man Raphael, Ravi, earlier. He's notorious for just harassing his school using various hacker methods. We're talking like zip
Oh,
bombs. We're talking breaking into um, their what do you call it? Like their cloud,
what a legend.
gaining access to grades and to like student lists, getting access to
Oh
teacher
yeah, he looked at everyone's
passwords.
records.
Yeah, he had access to everything.
I wonder if he looked at mine.
I love how half of it is like definitely illegal, but he just did not care.
Oh no, he gave no shits.
No, the
And you know
school
what the best part
knew.
is? It's probably like if it stays on his record, he's probably going to get some really good jobs for it because people who get caught or who admit to breaking into cybersecurity make really good white hats.
I don't know, he was a
Yep.
minor at
True.
school. I don't think they have those records, but like all this school did about it was they made him give his phone to the office every morning before school.
His phone?
His
Yeah,
phone.
because he had it all on his phone. He could remotely do it.
Oh wow.
Dude,
Robbie
he's
is
like
fucking crafty.
yeah, he's like the definition of like every like hacker type nerd character in like any show who just like has all of the gadgets that he would ever need on his phone.
But like, not only could he be like a white hat hacker, but he could also be like one of those hackers where it's like there's like I know that some companies and whatnot when they set up
But
websites
yeah,
and things
people
like that.
employ people will employ hackers to break their security for them to like look for flaws because the best way to try and find where your security flaw is to have somebody break in
Isn't
Mhm.
that just what cybersecurity is?
on a level.
Yes.
Yeah, tad bit, but still.
No, it's just putting a
Is that
lock
what
on your
Robbie is trying to
computer.
go into?
Yep. And coding. Well, he wants to do software engineering. And I think the funniest part about it is that Robbie is such a nice guy, and he's so, I guess, sweet and kind that like, despite having all this information at his disposal and all this power at his disposal, he just doesn't use
So
it.
yeah, I hacked the
I
school.
was gonna ask, what did he do with it? Like, did he do
Nothing.
anything?
He just did it for a giggle.
Yeah,
Yeah, like he
it was just
hacked in
funny.
and got access to like the teacher accounts where they can like grade students' like homework and stuff. And he just showed it to his teacher. He's like, "Hey, I hacked into your account." Like Deadass showed the like screen to his teacher, and then he like obviously got suspended. But like
Nice.
he just like did that kind of stuff.
That's epic.
Look what I did.
Honestly, I respect that. Like I know I keep bringing it back to my homeboy Spidey, but great power, great responsibility, man.
Absolutely.
I also just love how he was like 100% doing it because he was just like incredibly understimulated with like school. Like he was like, why would I ever care about any of this when I can just like literally ruin an entire school's like connectivity to the internet for like days? I don't know, man.
Yeah,
Like
Did he actually zip bomb his school?
Yeah, he did.
Fucking
another thing.
insane.
I ain't saying Robbie's a liar because he's definitely a truther. He hasn't lied about any of this shit before.
Wow.
You know,
Fuck.
I don't know all of it, but I
Aren't
did go to school
zip
with them.
bombs just basically like a large amount of data just composed in a little tiny file, so when they open it up, they just get fucked?
Yes,
Yeah.
essentially.
Alright.
They don't
Just
work
folders
in the
within
modern
folders.
day. The school must have had some really old computers for that to have worked because
You know how long it takes for a school to update their shit?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know how underfunded schools are? There's no fucking way, dude.
No.
It's like
With
our school
most
is
stuff like
35
that,
years behind
it's
being like
either
remodeled.
they're underfunded or it's just if it ain't broken, don't fix it. Because
Yeah,
I'm pretty
basically.
sure we have like I could be wrong now. It might be updated for the most part, but don't some branches of our military still have a really old technology that they use?
I don't think so. I think the military is the first thing to get any extra money, or not extra. I think the first thing, angry government moment, but I think the military is one of the first thing to receive funding.
That's true.
Yeah.
But
And what
does
is
it
it that I'm
use it
got-
thinking about?
properly? No.
It's like some form of the government that uses
What do you
like
mean? Are you
really old
saying
computers and shit.
Are you saying the stealth fighter jet that literally failed, that cost like billions of dollars to create, was a waste? How else are we supposed to, stealthily fly in
Well,
airspaces that we shouldn't be in, Pesto? Come on.
well, why don't we just use that one jet that just that was supposed to be a stealth jet, but instead of actual stealth, it just outrun the missiles.
That's
Well,
also pretty cool.
I think it was during the Cold War era, but the U.S. military made like some jet, and could go so fast that it would just outrun missiles.
Pesto,
I doubt it
you're
turned
the
for anything.
professional here. Yeah,
I
Kyle and
Let me
Pesto,
look it
y'all
up.
watch or y'all play War Thunder. Y'all gotta give us the scoop.
I've never heard of a jet that can just. I mean, a lot of self-propelled rockets, even with tracking modules in them, whether they be via heat or other methods.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah,
I
the
might know.
SR-71 Blackbird.
Oh, the Blackbird.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
that one. I'm
they're
familiar.
incredibly fucking fast.
Yeah.
A lot of them, a lot of jets can outrun a self-propelled missile, but the issue is the turning.
Yeah.
Because any kind of aerial maneuver is going to bleed your speed. And that's when a missile will catch you, is because missiles aren't used as a singular action when in dogfights. Missiles are kind of a secondary thing, where missiles are launched initially, um, and it's like okay, well, you can outrun the missile, but you'll have to go straight in order to outrun the missile. Like, you won't be able to take any aerial maneuvers, and if you go straight and you don't take any aerial maneuvers, you're going to catch, 450 cal rounds down the side of your chassis and be sent in a smoking heap to the earth.
Yeah, but like that'd be pretty funny though.
Yeah,
How long have we
I'd
been
laugh.
going?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's
Anyway,
so
are we
check.
gonna?
I mean, at
It
least like
doesn't
5 minutes.
doesn't show
At
at least
least.
like 5. Oh, 1 hour and 38 minutes.
That's pretty good. We can keep going. Keep this one. We'll do this one as a long one, just because we've got so many people here and because we haven't made one in forever.
Yeah.
Uh
Are we
huh.
gonna are we gonna go back to the video game chat?
Yeah,
or-
that's what I was thinking. Is because we mentioned War Thunder. Let's go back to the video juegos.
Since my internet died, we gotta go back to Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Nope.
Nah, it's
I already
alright.
got my
It's alright,
team.
Ezri. Yeah, I carried the weight.
You
Yeah.
I
covered all
carried your
the
weight while you were
bases.
gone.
Did you guys actually?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh
we did.
yeah.
Yep,
He
he
actually
went
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. He had a
I can
whole
I
bit
can
about
smell the
that.
bullshit. I smell
Nope.
bullshit.
No,
Why
no.
would
I'll
why
show
would
you.
we lie?
I'll show
If
you
you
the
go through the
recording
recording,
afterwards.
there's a
Okay.
solid like 4 to 5 minute chunk of just me spewing out praise
It's
to
a
Wes
solid 4 to
Anderson.
5 minute chunk of Randy going, "Whoa."
Now that would be pretty cool too.
That would be
All
pretty
right,
cool. Okay.
video game.
Video games.
Have y'all
Y'all
heard
y'all heard
about?
about video games? Oh,
No.
Nope. Sorry.
Have you guys heard about the new war game that's been bringing a lot of controversy recently because it's came back?
Call of Duty.
What is
No,
it?
6 Days in Fallujah.
I haven't
I might be
heard.
mispronounced. Basically, 6 Days in Fallujah. If I'm butchering it, I'm sorry. But basically, it's about the one of the first battles during Desert Storm.
oh God. Oh
Oh
God.
boy.
think-
Oh boy.
There's no way they're
Uh-oh.
handling that with any tact whatsoever.
I
No,
think
okay.
no. I think that's a good thing. I think that's a really good thing because Desert Storm was fucked up, and attention needs to be brought to that like nobody's
You
business.
think they're gonna
Okay.
do it justice? Be
No.
honest.
No. Here's the thing. They have worked. They tried to make this game back when it was Fox News saying, "Oh, video games are going to make your kid an active shooter." But I've looked into the game. Uh, they've had like a bunch of soldiers from that battle help work on the game. There's also going to be if I remember correctly, they're also going to try and do it where you play as like civilians during that. They've talked to like a bunch of civilians who've survived all of that, and they're going to make a section about them and talk about all that. It's it's not trying, like, from what I've seen and whatnot, it's not trying to be pro US and whatnot. It's just basically it's what it's trying to be is a playable documentary is what the developers are describing it as.
Huh.
I call bullshit.
hope.
I
Well,
mean, yeah, it's
like,
very
either way,
easy to
believe
call
what you want to
bullshit, but
believe, but video games, in my opinion, are art. I don't think you should just not make a video game because it offends people or because of one thing. It's like video games are art, and you can interpret it any way you want to, and make it all that.
Yeah, and I think that goes for any forms of art. I think that, especially with something like that, I think that attention needs to be brought to the issues. You know,
But
these are
one thing I do hate though is with this game is that a bunch of like crazy far left media and shit is basically they're basically talking about how, oh, this game's gonna make people more insensitive to Muslims and their tragedies and whatnot.
it's literally the opposite.
It's like have you, these people have never played Spec Ops: The Line, and it shows. Because Spec Ops: The Line is another like game about you're playing as these troops, and I'm slowly playing the game right now, and it's just there's this one part where it's just you kill a bunch of civilians because you thought they were like actual people that you were going after, and it's fucked. It's extremely fucked.
I think I think video games is a really underrated art form in the sense of its ability to tell stories, at least in perception, like modern like media outlets don't recognize video games enough as an outlet for storytelling, as an outlet for um, sending a message.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like there was, I'm thinking about this like back in 2016 when Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus was coming out. I remember I saw a bunch of like Twitter posts and articles where a bunch of people were crying about how that game was like neo-Nazi propaganda and stuff
It's
like that.
literally about killing Nazis. I don't know
Yeah,
how
and
I
when
don't
you
know how much
actually
more explicit you can get.
yeah, and when you actually play the game, you can basically see how it subtly talks about how fascism is a snake that eats itself.
Hmm.
What was it? I think it's the new No More Room in Hell. And this is one of my favorite things
No More
is
Room in Hell
like
2.
journalists who are really awful at games and only see the worst parts about them.
Dean Takahashi? I don't
Team
want to talk shit
Takahashi,
about that
baby.
man.
And it was really funny because I think one of the biggest pitfalls that was actually set for journalists when they were reviewing a game was, at least I think it was No More Room in Hell. If you remember, like Doom Eternal, the journalists who were covering Doom Eternal were like,
Oh
"Wow,
my
this is
god.
shit. You know, this is terrible. This is awful. I can't even make it past the first room." Um, One of the first things that was ever set up for the newest No More Room in Hell is that the soundtrack is actually based on how well you're doing in the game. So
Oh,
like the more like the better your combo is and the better you're doing, like the more metal the soundtrack is and the better the soundtrack
Are you sure you're
gets.
talking about No More Ruben Hell? Because No More Ruben
It
Hell is
might
a
have
zombie
been.
game.
It might have been, or it might have been a different game. But I know that there is a game out there that this was like discussed, and this is one of the mechanics. And so like the better your combo gets, the better you're doing, the better the soundtrack gets. And a journalist reported on the game and said that the game had no soundtrack and that it was abysmal and it was an awful game. It was unfun. And I thought it was
Max
really
is
funny.
bad.
Caught in 4K.
Yeah. Caught in 4K.
I think dynamic music in games is really underappreciated.
Yeah, I
I
wish it
agree,
was
but I think
present
it's a
more.
difficult to make. Isn't it really hard to make work?
What you mean?
To an extent, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, like you can
Depends on the game. It
easily,
depends on what you're trying to do.
yeah. Like to make the music more intense, like the better you're doing at the game should be relatively easy to do because there are going to be numbers that dictate how good you're doing at the game in the code, and you could
Yeah.
just pick up from those numbers and switch the song like that.
Like, I don't remember what Need for Speed game it was, or if it was just a completely different game entirely, where it was just basically you were being chased by cops. But it was basically like the more intense the heat got, the more intense the music got itself. It was like some racing game. It might have been a Need for Speed game, but that was basically like the more you got cops chasing you, and the more intense like the cops were, like basically like more would be added to the music, just making it more fast paced and more intense.
That's-
So just like a level 1 of Parappa the Rappa, basically. is what
True.
you're getting at.
I think
Honestly.
Parappa the Rapper does dynamic music the best because when you're rapping bad, the music starts to sound like shit. I think it's great.
And you crash your car and immediately lose.
Game
Uh-huh.
that tells you suck.
One
I think I need to play more games that are like not necessarily easy, but like more instant gratification y, like
Yes,
fun.
you do. Oh my god, please stop playing Escape from Tarkov.
I play a lot of games that are like give and take, where you know it's like it hurts to play, but when you win, you really fucking win. Like you win, you know?
But at
with
what cost?
I mean, yeah, it's taxing, but at the same time, it's like, okay, yes, this is a difficult game. Yes, it makes me feel bad, but I know that when it makes me feel good, it's so much more worth it. Like,
Toxic.
thinking about like games where it's like they'll kind of let you know that you're doing like a shit job and whatnot. That's one thing that I did find interesting with Guitar Hero Live back when I played at my friend's house. Don't get me wrong, that game sucked. The controller just sucked. The whole concept sucked. But one thing that it did do was like when you got worse and worse, like the crowd would change, like the signs that they were holding up would like say different things rather than like oh you rock, it'd say like oh you suck and things like that. Like they would be insulting you and booing you and stuff. And I thought
yeah,
that in itself was interesting, but it was such a bad game, and I don't get why they changed the controller to that 6 button 3 column bullshit. That pissed me off.
it's a little bit more realistic in comparison to what it used to be, but I really think that they should have just kept it on the color coded buttons across the neck.
Yeah, because I mean, if I wanted to have like a more realistic Guitar Hero like game, I'd play
I,
Rocksmith.
yeah, you just play fucking Rocksmith. Rocksmith is one of my favorite tools to just like jam out and just play.
I still need to get it.
Don't get it. Just watch on YouTube.
But have a guitar and I like actually want to play.
It's actually really finicky. From what I hear and what I see, it's actually really picky about your pickups, about the
Hmm.
chords you use, um, and about your strings as well. Especially your pickups, though. Like some guitars just won't do well because of their pickups on Rocksmith.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a real video game now.
Mm.
Fortnite.
Are we gonna bring up
Fortnite.
Valheim?
You can bring up Valheim.
Has anybody here other than me played Valheim?
I've
I tried it from your account for like a few minutes.
I think it's a really pretty, otherwise really minimalistic game.
I
I
actually
like it a
really
lot.
do like the art style.
It's
Wait, this
really,
game's only 1 GB?
yeah,
Yeah, it's
tiny.
it's not like detailed
It
whatsoever.
is.
It's like
made
a
for
PS
coasters.
it's a PS2 game with really good lighting.
Yeah, it's crazy how you get such a basic game with basic like graphics. And it's low poly as fuck, but like I don't know. It's crazy you get such a small game with such low polygon count and it comes out being one of the prettiest experiences I've had in video gaming in a long time.
It's definitely kind of like it's an acquired taste, I think the art style is. Because it's so kind of jarring and different from basically anything else out there. But I think the
Yeah,
longer you look at it, the better you're going to enjoy it.
Looking
that's
at it
true.
just kind of reminds me of like a boomer shooter,
Yeah.
It
like
reminds me
those
of
era
RuneScape.
games.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
It reminds me of RuneScape.
Old school RuneScape.
I remember hearing from a good friend of mine who had been like looking into the developers and like the actual development process of it. Supposedly what ended up happening was Valheim, like the original developer team was only like a, a living room's worth of people, like not many people, and they ended up looking at it. Well, and they ended up making this, I should say they ended up making this project because they looked at other survival games and other RPG games and just kind of said, I don't really, there are no really good survival games out right now. I'm not enjoying the state of how survival games are. I want to make something that has, all the good elements from everything instead.
I mean, it's a pretty good
Yeah,
philosophy, honestly.
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah,
straightforward.
I just want to make a video game that's good without the bad parts.
And yeah, and it's really good. I don't have
That's
any problems with, you know what my biggest gripe with Valheim is?
What?
It's really young.
Oh, well.
It's just, it needs more content.
Mm.
It's still in beta.
yeah. I don't know. I feel like Valheim really represents something that I've like had as like not a gripe, but like a proving the point I've been trying to make for like the past forever, and that it's like you don't have to like reinvent the wheel or you don't have to like go crazy with like visual design or anything. Like, a
You
game
don't
just
need
needs to
graphics
have
to
like
make a good game.
yeah, it just needs to have like entertainment and like staying power. And I
Yep.
think that if Valheim really just keeps going with like continuous updates and like adding new content and stuff, like it's gonna be exactly that. Like it's gonna be something that people are gonna keep coming back to.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. See, they're still in version 0.148.7. With March 29th was the last update. Before that was the 23rd. Before that was the 19th.
The
They
face when
just
they
keep
haven't even hit update one, like
they
version
keep
one.
yeah, they keep rolling out little shit. It's just
Yeah.
Hmm.
there's
Speaking of
like
game, oh,
a
go
small
ahead.
pack of people that work on it. Keep going on. Go ahead.
But speaking of games where it's like you don't have to reinvent the wheel or bring whole a bunch of stuff, nothing new to the table. There's this one game that I've been playing, Terminator Resistance, and it is a great game, but it had bad ratings when it first came out. Like IGN, for some reason, they gave it a lower rating than they did Fallout 76.
Never trust the fucking critics. You're ever gonna
Yeah,
read a review?
Never
Read a
trust
review from the
IGN,
fans.
especially.
they
Fuck
yeah,
IGN. Too
because
much
they
water,
talk
my
about how
ass.
the game like brought nothing new to the table and whatnot, and Call of Duty like genuinely brings nothing new to the table almost every time. Yet they'll suck that game off and give it a great rating almost every time. Like, can we like for once, when a publisher cares about a piece that they are making, can we give them encouragement? Because Treon, the company behind Terminator, was Teon something, but they cared about the game. Like you can tell. Like the writing's a little weird and whatnot. Like the writing's kind of mediocre and the characters are kind of eh. But considering how it's like a Terminator themed game, it kind of fits with it.
It's not
and
supposed to be like a big story-driven experience. It's supposed to be shooting robot.
whatnot. Like it has a combination of both. It's like basically just take Fallout and put it in Terminator, like some of the mechanics of Fallout and put it in like a Terminator universe. Like it does a
Appreciable.
great job showing
When you say Fallout, do you mean old Fallout, like Fallout 1 and 2?
no, I mean
Okay.
like so it has like lock picking,
Oh, okay.
trading, things like that. It has some stuff, but it's not all of it. Like it has elements. But it's just it's a great game. And you can tell that the developers cared. And I went in a circle and lost my train of thought. uh, but
It's just refreshing to see games
yeah. Oh,
that are not like big projects, games
yeah.
that aren't made to make money.
Okay. Now I remember what I was talking about. But it does so it stays within Terminators 1 and 2. It doesn't go to 3 and above and beyond, which is beautiful because they still talk about how there's a core to Skynet because for some reason Terminator 3 pulled some bullshit where it's like, oh no, Skynet's an AI. It's an AI. But but it does a great job showing the other side of the Terminator that we barely saw, which was the war, the actual war that's going on in the future of man and machine.
Oh, I mean, as someone who's never seen Terminator before, like, I would expect that to be like a significant part of the like story.
I
But
mean, if you never saw it, yeah, but Terminator, the first Terminator is kind of about it shows a little bit of it, like it shows like what's going on. Actually, no, it doesn't in the second one, I think. It might have did in the first. It's a little blurry. But basically it's about a Terminator going back in time and trying to kill the mother of somebody who is the leader of the resistance to destroy Skynet.
oh,
And then Terminator 2 is the exact same thing, but except the leader of the resistance is a kid now.
all
But
right.
like it's weird for
Interesting.
me to explain it and I'm not doing it justice, but Terminator 1 and 2 are really good. Like if I were
Yeah,
to put them
I know that much.
if I were to put them on tier lists, Terminator 1 and 2 would be S, Terminator 3 would just be all the way down at the bottom, Salvation would be a tier above it, and then Genesis would also be within that same tier. And I
Wow.
haven't seen Dark Ages yet, so I can't rate that
Dude, we got the Arnold Schwarzenegger super fan out here. I
one.
love to see it.
He's funny. He is funny strong, man.
Yes. You want to know a game that just came out that I've been like crazy pumped about?
Hmm.
Huh.
And by like when I mean just came out, I mean today is what, April 3rd? It came out on April 1st or
It doesn't
March
Is it
exist.
31st.
Repentance? Repentance?
Binding of Isaac
Yeah.
Repentance, baby.
Oh,
Oh my god.
the Binding of like the first Binding of Isaac, but definitive edition, or is
Yeah,
it a whole other game? Mm.
basically there's the original version, The Binding of Isaac on Flash, and that was like actually 10 years ago. Or no, it was more than that. No, it was
Yeah.
10. Yeah. And then 3 years later they make a full game like port of it on Steam. And they pretty it up, make it like an actual video game. Not to say that it wasn't before, but like they make it like a full scale like project. Add a bunch of new content, call it Binding of Isaac Rebirth, and then basically they've kept incrementally adding huge like updates and like what they call booster packs with just a bunch more content, and they released the final one, which basically makes it like an entirely new game, and it's just everything that I loved about the game originally, just cranked up to like 20 and made like wonderful. I don't
Oh.
know, just a great time. Um, yeah.
You know, I've been waiting, or kind of just keeping an ear to the ground to see if anything develops with is the the Star Wars fighter pilot game.
Oh, Rogue Squadron.
Rogue
No,
Squadron.
that's the. Oh wait, yeah, that's what
It's
it
just
is.
squadrons.
Oh,
Squadrons?
Squadron. Yeah, Rogue Squadron is the
It's
movie.
the N64 one. Rogue
Okay, never
One was
mind.
the
I
movie.
Okay. Oh, they just really like the word rogue and or squadron.
Yup.
Glad to see Lucas Games is really just or LucasArts is really just pulling through with the original idea names.
Yep.
Like how Star Wars 1 is actually Star Wars 4, and Star Wars 4 is actually Star Wars 1.
Okay, well at least I can understand that one because like
Yeah.
there was never an intention for there to be like a full story behind it.
Uh-huh.
Until they were like, wow, we can commercialize this.
Yeah, and then kind of ruined it in the process.
I mean, they're still
And then
like those early movies still have their moments. I can
yeah,
appreciate them, even if
2 and 3 were good. With 1, I just like the Darth Maul fighting scene and then the pod racing scene.
I
now
always
this
think
is pod racing.
I always think about this this old comedy bit by Patton Oswalt. And the bit, at least the section, is called "I'll kill George Lucas with a shovel."
Yep.
Um, and the bit revolves around the idea of if I could go back in time, I would go back to the '90s, and I would meet George Lucas. Um, after the original trilogy is released, um, and I'd ask him about what his newest project is, and you know, and I'd be like, "Well, hey George Lucas, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I loved Star Wars 1 through 3. They were fantastic. I love Luke Skywalker." And George Lucas would go, do you love Darth Vader? And I'd go, yeah, Darth Vader's he's badass. He's awesome. He's amazing. He's super cool. Um, and George Lucas would go, "Oh, that's awesome. Do you love the Death Star? Yeah, I love the Death Star. That thing's fucking rad. It blows up planets. Oh, well, you like ice cream? Yeah, I like ice cream. Ice cream's pretty good. What's that got to do with anything?" And George Lucas goes, "Well, here's a bag of rock salt. What? Rock salt? What the fuck am I gonna do with rock salt? That's what ice cream's made out of. And in my new Star Wars project, we're gonna show you Darth Vader as a little kid, little Annie. Wouldn't you like that? No, no.
No.
Why would I want that? I want Darth Vader, not some little fucking twerp with attitude issues." But yeah, that's basically the bit.
Yeah, but is this pod racing? I think is the real question that you should be asking right
Is
now.
it pod racing?
No,
Fun-
not yet.
Not yet.
Fun little fact about that pod racing scene. You know how they do the overhead shots of like the people in the stands at the stadium? Those are
Yeah.
actually painted Q-tips on top of a bunch of fans to
I
make them look
too
like they're
saw the Reddit
jumping
post
around and
about
cheering.
that.
Oh yes, the redditors.
The Redditors.
No.
Oh, is that
Dude.
not where you just found that out somehow? Not through Reddit?
I remember reading about it like 2 years ago, but I don't remember where it was that I read it.
Ah.
Probably on Reddit.
I don't know, maybe
It has a tendency to do that.
Reddit moment.
Dude, not gonna lie. I didn't understand Reddit for the longest time, and it was because I never used it. And then like I actually started looking at Reddit, and I honestly can say like, not saying I'm a convert because that would be a bit of an overstatement.
If you think Reddit's hard to use, you should try using 4chan.
No, I don't think
Oh
I
no
will.
no no. Yeah, I will decide no.
That's just
Politely.
not made well. It's old. It's old.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I don't
simple.
think the people on there are made
It's
well
pretty
either.
simple.
The people on there are simple too.
You know what's
Yep.
funny is I look at their the if you laugh you lose boards, which is supposed to be like the comedy boards. And I gotta say, shit just isn't funny.
Call
You're
me old
like, I am winning this competition.
Yeah, I could steal like one video from an entire thread with like 30 to 40 videos on it. You know, at least 15 of which are all the same thing with like the same format with a slight variation. Not impressive, by the way.
No, it's incredibly impressive. What do you mean?
4chan is very
It's just not
interesting.
funny. I think it's funny to watch them scrap and fight with each other. 4chan users
Oh,
are fucking brainlets, and
that
they'll fight
and
with each other over anything.
it's also very entertaining when something happens that upsets 4chan, like the whole he won't like the whole Shia LaBeouf he will not divide us shit.
Yeah.
Like like 4chan just went full weaponized autism on
Oh
that.
yeah. No, when they mobilize like as a unit, it's really cool to see.
It really is.
Um,
Just
but
seeing
they're a
how
bunch of fucking retards and they know it.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
really
and that's what
like a
makes
bunch of
4chan great. It's just they're
it's,
self-aware, but
they pool all of their IQ points into a single movement
like
Yeah.
and
the
then just have
first
to and they're on cooldown for the rest of their lives.
They're
like
on
the
cooldown
first
for the rest of the decade.
yeah, the first and last time I went on 4chan and I was just exploring it to see what was going on, I stumbled across a post of like a hacksaw, but instead of it being a saw part, it had chains, and the caption just said, "Look, a chainsaw," and I just logged off.
Oh.
I
Oh.
think I know what you're talking about.
But I don't
It
care who
was
you are.
so
That's
dumb,
funny.
but it
That's
was
like
so
peak that's
funny.
like peak 4chan.
Man.
And what were you saying about Reddit, Randy? About how you're not a convert, but like
Oh yeah,
Me
it's
too,
just
later.
like I don't know, it's like it's surprisingly a fairly useful forum, especially for someone who's like rarely keeps with the news or anything.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
That's how I
And
keep
it's just
that's how I keep up to date on current events. But go on.
yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's just like I always just joke I'm like, "Oh guys, redditors, right?" Ha ha ha. And like for sure like those types exist.
oh, definitely.
But like a lot I genuinely think that Reddit has more like 34-year-old dads
It
on the
does.
sub like on the forum who are just like, "Hey guys, check out this cool fact about Star Wars. Did you know that the entirety of the pod racing scene is just like Q-tips or whatever?"
Is
It's
it
like it's
heaven
just
or
that
Yeah,
like it's
yeah.
literally like I think the entire thing is like the type of energy that's given off by like r/mildly interesting is like the vibes given off by a majority of Reddit, and then like 10% is like absolute maniacs who have no self control and
Yeah.
incels.
It definitely is represented by the 10%
The
in
the
like
the
most of
loud
public
minority,
opinion.
as they say.
Yeah, the loud minority. I don't mind Reddit at all. I think it's nice.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's nice.
It's cool to just scroll through.
Hmm.
Good
Like
old
the
Reddit,
only
baby.
two forms of social media that I use are Snapchat and Reddit. Snapchat, just keep up with friends and see what they're doing and shit, and then Reddit is just I like Reddit because I can find stuff that appeals to me. I don't have to like try and find people that make content. I could just find a board that people post specific content on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
hmm
So it's
I don't know.
easy to
I kind
find
of
shit
like
that appeals.
that's why I kind of like YouTube though. It's like a little goodie bag. You don't know what you're gonna get,
Well,
and then you get like
That's
70
yeah.
billion videos of like hot garbage that like the algorithm was just like decided that you would like.
I
And
get.
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah, that's right. YouTube technically is social media. I find just YouTube is like a media, just watch media watching.
It's definitely corporatized over the years.
And then you
Oh
get
yeah,
the
no,
odd
definitely.
gem, like the theory that
Thanks
all
to
the
Susan
Grubhub ad
Wojcicki.
characters are Jimmy Neutron characters.
Oh yeah, I
Excuse me.
we watched a video last night about Grubhub lore, thanks to
Was it Matt Patterson shit?
yeah, thanks to funny
Thank you,
Matt Pat,
Matthew
because
Patrick.
apparently now he has a third channel called Food Theory.
Oh, he has three. It's there's game theory, film theory, and food theory.
Is Gaijin Goomba still a thing? Is like
Yes.
Culture Shock still a thing? Oh, thank God.
Well, he doesn't. He's not on the game theory channel anymore. but he definitely makes videos.
All right, because I liked him. He was cool.
Did you hear about how he got married in an arcade and live streamed the entire thing?
I did not hear about that. No.
Wow.
It's been years since I watched
Oh
Huh.
it.
my
Now
god,
that's the kind of shit that gives Reddit a bad reputation.
it was so bad. Oh my god. But he makes good content. He seems like a cool guy, but it's just so embarrassing. I think you should all look into
Funny
it.
as hell. If you're not
I
someone who
don't think
takes
I
your wedding
will.
too seriously, that's really funny.
Yeah.
Honestly, kind of based.
A little bit.
Real.
I respect the sheer willingness to just do anything.
Honestly, I'd fuck around and get married in an arcade. I think that'd be pretty funny. Just go to Dave and Buster's, buy like the 5,000 ticket shitty ring and put it on my wall.
Should I try to get Sozin to meow for the podcast?
Yes. Yes.
Sure.
Sozin! Oh, come here. Big fat boy. Are you just gonna sit there calmly? He's so heavy. I can hardly hold him.
So
He's
no meow.
large. Usually he meows when I hold him for too long and he gets annoyed. Oh,
Oh,
Yes!
oh yeah.
that's a partial meow.
I'm gonna see if I can get my cat to meow.
Come
We
on,
need
Mr. Handsome,
a-
give us a meow.
We need Rami's Urs.
I can't catch her. I would probably traumatize her if I caught her and held her down until she erred.
Oh,
She claws the hell out of me if I hold her, dude.
oh. By the way, how's your cat Dio?
He's alright. He's
Diovala.
He's not ballin'.
he's got assless chaps, but he's alright.
Let's see how long it takes until she meows.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, we're record times.
record.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach for Sahana now. We're gonna. All right,
Yeah,
start
that's
the
gonna be
timer in
easy.
3.
Why are we like
Two,
I'll
racing
let you
Yeah,
go
past
if you
and
meow.
nothing.
Come on.
Oh,
Oh no, she's
okay, I got her in
squirming.
my arm.
Ah! Okay, you can leave, I promise. I'm
You know,
sorry.
it's okay.
I'm so
Go
sorry.
now. No, it's okay. I'm putting you down now.
Whoa
Ow!
there.
He squeaked and then he clawed my arm.
Dude, like, the first and last time, like, I'm just thinking about this because of cats, but one time I picked up a dog, and, like, the first and last time I picked up a dog, I didn't, like, drop him from, like, where I was standing. I kind of bent down a little bit, like, at my knee height, but I just realized, oh, wait, this isn't a
It's
cat.
not a cat. Yeah, I did that once with my older dog. She wasn't quite a senior dog at that point, but I was used to holding my cats, and my cats like they just jump down from my height, and I'm 6
Yeah.
foot. So I just kind of dropped the dog, and the dog hit the floor like a sack of potatoes. It just went thump.
Oh, poor baby.
No, she popped right back up, and she was like, "Oh, okay, that happened."
She went, sir.
You know, that was the
Mhm.
same thing that happened to the other dog. I dropped it around between knee to hip level, and it made a loud
Dollar.
crash. And like, my grandma was freaking out, like, "Oh, why'd you drop the dog?" I'm like, I forgot it wasn't a cat." And she's like, "You drop your cats?" It's like, well, yeah. If you try and just set a cat down on the floor, it makes it like 30 times worse. Like,
It
cats just
does. They
kinda
really just
hopping.
kind of, for whatever reason, whenever you try to put a cat down, they like, I don't know.
Yeah. They like try to move before you can set them down.
Yeah, my Rami scars are all from when I was trying to put her down.
Yep, exactly. That's why you just
Y'all
kind
really
of
got to
drop
adjust
them.
your word choice out here.
That cat.
You're like, once I
God,
put this cat down.
Let's say set down.
Randall.
Listen,
You have to
man.
put down my cat.
Yeah, I mean, well, first you.
Putting the cat down.
Yeah, first you gave Dio some assless chaps. It's only the natural progression.
Poor nutsless boy.
I didn't give him the assless chaps, they did. I actually wasn't expecting them to.
No nuts,
That's surprising.
Dio.
He's fluffy.
Now he can't piss his pants anymore.
He
No
has
pants to piss.
He looks so
Just a
funny
tad
though.
Oh, does he have the little like shaved bit at his belly?
Not even his belly, just entirely around his crotch, which is why we keep saying he's wearing assless chaps, because his legs are still fuzzy, but he's like shaved right around the crotch.
No.
Did they cone him?
No.
Really?
Yeah, he's all
Wow.
good.
He's a very well restrained young man.
He's just been kind of running around minding his own business, but he's on pain meds, so he probably feels alright.
Hmm.
Not
He's
like
ashamed of what he's
Stinky.
become.
Like Stinky when we got him neutered, and they're like, oh, well, they really don't need pain meds. And I never got a cat neutered, so I was like, alright, whatever. And then that man slept with his tail tucked between his legs for like several nights. He was miserable.
That's awful.
Poor man. Isn't it weird how we're just like, you know what these cats need? Birth control. Which, like, makes sense. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just like,
Well,
huh.
cats breed often, and they breed in litters, so
Yep.
you can quickly develop a what do you
If you
call
don't
it?
want 30 cats in the span of like 3 years, then
Well,
you
my
should
cats are
probably not.
indoors, but I
Huh?
don't start. My cats are indoor only, but I don't want to start pissing.
So sad. 10 likes.
What? Oh yeah. Have
Cat
any of you guys known, like with cat adoption centers, how if a cat's like a feral cat and they'll take them and like, like neuter him and whatnot, put him up for adoption and shit, they'll like clip a little bit of its ear.
Uh-huh.
Try that. Well,
One
when
of
I
my
got
girlfriend's cats is like that.
one of my cats has that. Like a few like 7 years? No, not 7 years ago. 5 or 6 years ago when we got our cats.
7 years
We noticed
ago.
that when we were like
Well,
kind of
still,
bringing, because we
7
wanted two
years
cats
ago.
and we were bringing out. So the cat that I chose, the one that had the clipped ear, we saw them, we're like, oh, what does that mean? And then they explained, it's like, oh. And we thought, well, is this going to be any problems with that or whatnot? Turns out, no. He is like the biggest fucking lap cat that you could have. Like he
Mm-hmm.
is adjusted so well. He's like he just rubs his head against everything, and he's such a dense, small ball. Like he's a small cat. Like he was probably the runt of the litter, but the vets have struggled to move him. Like if he doesn't want to move, he will not move. If you try and slide him around, it's ridiculous.
Well, you said
And then
no, alright?
yeah, and then our other cat, she's not as skittish as she was when we first got him, but she has like a very skittish personality to her. Like if you're gonna be walking around the room and she's nearby, be very careful where you step because she will make the situation worse and you will probably trip over her. And
Good
then
man.
with our other cat, he's just an idiot and he'll just get in front of your way so you'll end up kicking him. Like there have been so many times where I'm in the kitchen, I'll just accidentally kick the little idiot.
It's funny.
Man.
Cats be like, "Don't touch me, but I'm under your feet."
Yeah.
Yeah, my cats
Yeah.
run in front of me when I'm walking and try to trip me, and then they act offended when I accidentally kick them.
You're just trying to chill and you're jacking their steez.
You know, my black cat likes to like rest at the top of the stairs in the dark. I don't need to say anything else about that.
He just does. You know how it is.
That man's a criminal who tried to kill my grandma earlier
Oh,
because she was
Whoa.
taking apart her desk, and there's like, it's like a tall corner desk, and the top half wasn't attached to this bottom half, and he jumped up on there and it started to tip forward on
He really said, today you have outlived your stay.
her. Your trial on life has expired. And so she's like trying to hold it up and also trying to grab the cat, and she called me, and as soon as I stood up, he ran out and acted like he didn't do it.
Just a literal convicted war criminal.
That man's a
Right.
menace. He's like 16 pounds of muscle and malice.
Of pure
16 pounds of pure harassment.
16 pounds of
nothing but
handsome
spite.
dude.
Yes, sir.
Other than
Lord
that, he's just
Vlad.
like a mild-mannered old man. He just naps, and when you hug him, he doesn't like it, but he doesn't do anything about it. He just kind of makes old man grunts at you.
He's just a convicted serial murderer.
For real. Keep calling him old man. He's only 6.
GG.
What's our timer at, Preston?
It's at 2 hours and 19 minutes or 20 minutes now.
I think this is getting too long.
It is getting too
I
long.
think it's time to wrap
You're
it
gonna
up.
edit it.
Yeah.
Yes.
At this
Alright.
point, you guys are just talking about your cats.
Yeah,
Rap
it's kind
more
of what I
like
figured.
crap.
You
Anyways,
gotta pay the cat tax.
We've slipped out of talking about things and into just boring
yeah, it just happened.
casual
Okay,
conversation.
let's get a roll call. Just let's see who's. So we've got Leon.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
me.
and then we've got me, Pesto, Preston, whatever. And then we've got Kyle.
Hello.
And then we've got Andrew.
Hola.
And then we've got Randy.
Gaming.
And then we've got Ezri.
No.
Hell yeah.
Wrong.
The whole cast.
Incorrect.
Wrong.
That is not correct.
That's not correct.
Actually,
Aren't you glad I've been muting every time I cough my lungs out?
Yes.
Yeah.
weren't you glad I didn't say
Aren't you
They
glad
heard.
I didn't
Apple?
say banana fruit rock?
Are we done recording? Is that it?
I'm about to stop. Any last
All
words?
right. Well, yeah. Goodbye
Sorry.
then.
I think
I'm
burgers
sorry.
are-
Yeah.
I'm
buy
sorry.
buy our
Bye.
merch?
We can
Buy
take
our
that as
merch.
a YouTube
Hit
outro.
like,
Hit
Uh,
like, subscribe,
Hit the like.
hit that
slap the
notification
like
button.
retweet,
The bell.
Don't forget to soak your
Revine.
cigarettes in bleach.
Follow me on 4chan.
Fuck.
That's it. Just
All
end
right.
it.
All right. Just end it.